Welcome into Middays with Marks here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Today, Middays without Marks, the voice you trust, a little under the weather. He'll be back tomorrow. So are we the voices that you don't trust, the voices you kind of trust, the voices you're learning to trust? I don't know what it is. Sean Brace, how are you on this Monday morning?
Hey, great to be with you here. Ray Dunn, how you been? How was your weekend? My foot is wet.
Lovely.
I'm upset right now. Of
Did
course,
we have the same problem coming in?
digging out 4 different times yesterday. I don't know. I went out there late night. Obviously, it was a little bit different precipitation at that point in time, and my boot ended up getting a little wet. So, anyways, I go down to drive in today, put the boots on, and my foot's wet, and I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, I'm not wearing regular shoes. It's nasty out there, and so now my left foot is wet. So I'm aggravated over that, but I'm excited to get into some of the conversations that we're going to have today.
I am so glad you brought that up because I was aggravated walking over here because, and thank you to the station. Appreciate you putting me up in the hotel last night. Wonderful time with the morning show boys. I was the lone midday representative. We had a great time.
Nice.
Wonderful, full day long, just watching football, hanging out, having a couple beers. Great time with them.
That's what they call a radio core memory, Ray.
Yeah, absolutely. Great time. I will say today, knowing that this is a very commercial area, you would think they would take a little better care of the sidewalks. I'm trying to get to my car at the garage that's a couple blocks from the hotel, and I'm going through all the snow. I got wet socks like nobody's business right now.
Yeah.
My feet are freezing cold, so I'm not in a great mood because of that. Now, with that said, the price you pay for having a good Sunday. So I'll take a step back. I'm also not in a good mood because of I've been the biggest Patriots hater throughout this run. I don't know if you remember last week when I said I was just pulling for C.J. Stroud to do anything against that team, and obviously I didn't get my wish there. And then yesterday I was just pulling for Stidham, and our boy Brandon Dutsey, who's producing the show today, I was pulling for the Broncos, and I'm so sorry, Broncos country.
Woo.
It's over.
Wait, you're apologizing to him and apologize to me for having to watch that game.
Well, I apologize to everyone at home that I had to
Thank
watch
you.
it. It was brutal.
Oof.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
Not wonderful. But we got some things. At least I got some things to take away from watching that one. And that's kind of where I want to go to open up today's show. So
I can't wait to hear this because as I was watching those 2 games, and I know that's the vibe, that's the theme that goes through our minds. It's like, well, first thing you ask yourself is like, how far off are the Eagles with these teams?
Right.
And for my money, Ray, I look at all the boxes are checked in favor of all 4 of those teams. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to be unfair or dismissive of how good the franchise has been and are very capable of getting back to. And I believe the Eagles will be right there in the thick of it next year, led by Jalen Hurts. But I am very curious to hear your takeaway as you were watching both NFC and AFC Championship games when it comes to comparing to the Eagles.
All right, I have 2. You want me to go positive first or negative first?
Oh, you got a positive and a negative.
I got a positive and a negative.
Well, I think we've been doing this show since October, and I think you know that I'm an optimist, right?
Correct.
I try to be. I am a happy-go-lucky guy. I don't like confrontation, so please start off with the good.
All right, so with the cliches about this league being year to year and about coaching mattering, both held up yesterday. Very much so. You look at the difference of the 2 teams a season ago, especially look at the Patriots, what they were a year ago. They get the adult in the room. Mike Vrabel comes in, takes over. They actually got something going on there. And as much as I want to hate them, they've got something great brewing there. So you get an adult in the room to take care of things. And I'm going to say that on the offensive side of the football for the Eagles, you get someone in there and you actually believe in what's happening on the offensive side of the football for the Eagles, I believe what Fangio's got, what that defense will have. They're going to be well coached. But coaching matters in this league, and I think that's the biggest thing for the Patriots year to year. Yeah, they had a soft schedule. Yes, the run that they've had to the Super Bowl here, if you hate the Patriots, I saw Mickey Mouse May on my timeline. There are some people trying to detract from what the Patriots have done. Here's the deal. They got good coaching over there. That took over. We saw the difference in it. You saw the difference in it just the fact that the Broncos went from a long, desolate time where they were not doing anything post-Peyton Manning. They get Sean Payton in there. They get themselves to an AFC Championship game. Vrabel comes in. Incredible one-year turnaround for the Patriots. Coaching matters on that side. And I think on the other side, looking at the Seahawks and the Rams matchup, Kubiak, we thought, hey, maybe Kevin O'Connell was just a whisperer for Sam Darnold. No, he's made Sam Darnold a sustainable thing year over year. And Mike McDonald might be the new, I don't want to say prototype for the way teams are going coaching-wise, but you see a lot of young defensive assistants getting interviews to be head coaches this offseason, and I think that comes from Mike McDonald and what they've been able to do out there in Seattle. So the positive takeaway is you have a coach opening here in Philadelphia. If they are able to nail this, I think you have the pieces in place to put yourself in the pantheon of those teams that are back in there in the Super Bowl. And the year-to-year nature of this league, We joked about the 2010s Giants being this version of the Eagles where it's every other year, and that was a Nick Earnshaw thing, so shout out to him for bringing that one up. The Eagles, right coach in here, feel very comfortable they could be a part of this group a year from now. That's the positive takeaway.
Wish I could argue. Co-sign everything you just said. Absolutely. I think if you go out there and get somebody, which I believe the approach is to really give them a hold of the offense.
Right.
Design, we want your style. Yeah, that's going to be the change that this team needs right now. They need to find a new they didn't have an identity last year.
Yes.
They need to find something new. I would love to sit there and say, well, go back to what got you to the promised land, but it's easier said than done. You got to go ahead and hit some home runs as far as the offensive line replacements. What are you going to do when there's an injury? You got to go and get some depth there. Oh, by the way, will Saquon Barkley lose a little bit more of the step that he lost this past season? I still believe in Saquon, but it all starts with the coaching. I'm right there with you as far as the offensive coordinator. If they get this right, which I do believe they will. You know, that was one of the things that were hitting me last week. Howie Roseman, I think, deserves a ton of credit for, finding the guys. Jeffrey Lurie as well. I'm not a Sirianni guy, never have been, but he's proven me wrong. A lot like Sam Darnold has proved me wrong. So I tip my cap to him, and they found Nick Sirianni. So I do have confidence in Howie and Jeffrey and Julian to find the right offensive coordinator. I do want to put this out there. Man, I feel for Drop Mayo. The adult in the room, I heard a lot in the last 48 hours.
Yep.
Drop Mayo, former head coach of the New England Patriots, who got the gig and maybe he shouldn't have, that's fine. Top 10 overall pick as far as a draft pick is concerned. Two-time All-Pro, Super Bowl champion. Like his playing career was awesome. And it's like, yep, got an adult in the room. But, if you believe what was written and all that, it is reality. And Vrabel has been the true difference. Oh, by the way, defensive head coach with the first name of Mike.
Yep.
Seattle, defensive head coach with the first name of Mike.
Third time Super Bowl history, Battle of the Mikes.
You got the other two?
Tomlin and Holmgren.
Nice.
And then I forget what the other one was. I saw this stat. I was perusing the old Bird app today at like 5 a.m, and that was one of the ones that popped up. Like, oh, wow, look, third matchup of
was Martz a head coach for the Rams in the Super Bowl? No. Mike.
While we're talking oddities here about this Super Bowl
That's
matchup.
A great trivia question.
You want another good trivia question for you here
Sure.
while we're opening up here?
Yeah. Let's do
this is from Cole Musgrove on Twitter. 2005, new Pope elected, Seahawks win 13 games, go to the Super Bowl. 2013, new Pope elected, Seahawks win 13 games, go to the Super Bowl. 2025, new Pope elected, Seahawks win 13 games and go to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, it's a wild, wild thing. That is the timeline that I got to this morning at 5 o'clock, just kind of scrolling through my phone. I was like, wow, look at all these random Super Bowl facts that I'm going to have that mean absolutely nothing to no one else, and I'll never use.
That's all right. That's good. I mean,
Little did I know, 8 minutes into the show, rolling them out.
That was strong.
Battle of the Mikes, and also apparently new Pope means the Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. So just
and winning.
Remember that. So that's the good for me. Is
Okay.
that I think, and so the adult in the room conversation, that was almost more the dig on Sirianni and what they've got going. I think there's just a maturity here in terms of your coaching, and really that's Patullo. It's a more maturity down the line. Like Gerard Mayo, there might be another stop for him where he becomes a head coach and things work out for him. Vrabel's seen this. Vrabel got in there. He knows what it takes. I think everyone realizes the problem with the Titans organization was certainly not Mike Vrabel. It was certainly the Titans organization. He was lifting what is a bad organization. Here, he gets into the Patriots organization. Turns out the Patriot way, not totally dead. Maybe reimagined, rethought of, but yeah, I'm sick about it too. I can't believe I had my buddy from college that's a Patriots fan texted, man, it's been a while. Good to be back. I'm like, I hate you.
12.
With everything in me.
12 Super Bowl appearances.
Yeah.
6-5. It's just, I'm crushed because I had the Patriots and they didn't cover. They win the game, and now we get them for 2 straight weeks. Now, I think that they have to come up with something on offense other than Drake May scrambling and finding the end zone. I think you might have to do something
a little bit more
yeah, a little bit in Santa Clara to beat the Seahawks. I think they're somewhat capable, but this could be a very one-sided affair coming up here in 2 weeks.
I saw Neil's comment on the YouTube chat, and it's so funny. Just going down the line here, like for the Patriots run, it was one-handed Herbert, it was C.J. Stroud, and then it was Jarrett Stidham, and that's how you get to the Super Bowl. played a bunch of great defenses on the way, but that's how they got to the Super Bowl. And now on the other side would be Sam Darnold.
And it's crazy because you don't want to disrespect the New England Patriots, who, oh, by the way, did something that's never been done in NFL history before, 9-0 on the road. That's unbelievable. They didn't lose all season, of course, on the road, and a team that was battle-tested and were able to win, 13 games in the regular season. That's a pretty strong season, but there is flaws in everybody's schedule, and that's apparent there.
So the positive takeaway, coaching matters in this league. If you believe that the bar is set very low for what they have in terms of an offensive coordinator from last season for the Eagles going into next season, then, hey, you should feel pretty good about getting a new coach in here if you like the talent and all that stuff. I watched it, and I was like, wow, things can turn over quickly here. The old cliche about it's a year-to-year league, I think it's never been more true. I think the parity of this league over the last couple seasons, now especially, it seems like, yeah, you do have great quarterbacks, but does it matter as much? If I'm watching a Darnold and Drake May Super Bowl, at least this year, it certainly didn't matter that much. So good coaching matters, year-to-year changes. I think that's a positive for me, where, hey, they get the right offensive coach in here. I could talk myself into, I believe, next year's L.A.? Was that where the Super Bowl is?
Is that where it is?
I don't know. I saw them doing the advanced promo yesterday at one of the networks because I think one of the networks have it for next year.
Now, I know we'll get into this over the next few shows and then some. Tomorrow, I believe, is the Shrine Bowl. Like, you brought up the talent on the Eagles.
Right.
And it's
good
just
turnover.
A lot of question marks.
Right.
Will A.J. Brown be back? Will Dallas Goedert be back? What are they doing on the offensive line? This is just offense. Start there. How about defense? N'Kobe Dean. What are you doing with Jalen Phillips? How you filling in some of those holes? Reed Blankenship, is he coming back? Did he prove his worth? He's now got the sponsorship. Did you see him? He was pushing some couch over the weekend.
Was he?
Yeah.
I missed that commercial.
Yeah, he's on the commercial now. He's got that gig. But, he's a question mark. So I would like to believe that the talent will be there, but how he's got to go out there and get back to work as far as that is concerned, too.
There's a belief that he'll be able to do it. If there's one guy, I'll kind of put the faith in to do
Fair.
it. But you're right about the Shrine Bowl. And there's I have it later on in today's show of the ESPN did the offseason primer for teams that are eliminated, which is now all but 2. And I just was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, we've done a lot of offensive coordinator talk. We flirted with A.J. Brown. And we've thrown in left a little bit here and there, but full-blown off-season talk hurts me to my core about the fact that that's where we're headed. But we're about to get fully into how much money would you give next player?
Dutch, hit me with the ESPN draft sounder, bro. Give it to me because it is that time of year, my friend. Yep, Shrine Bowl tomorrow.
All right. We have to get to the other takeaway, though.
Yes,
I gave you the positive. So on the positive side of things, my biggest takeaway, the encouragement here is that coaching matters. They're going to get an adult in the room, hopefully on that offensive side of the ball. And with what they have, I believe you can be right back there next season. Now, the downside here. Are we prepared for this offseason of quarterback discourse? Are we prepared as a town for what this is going to be? Because if they, and we're both Hurts guys here.
Mm-hmm.
You love Jalen. This offseason, you're really going to have to love Jalen. Because what we're about to get into, we're going to watch one of Drake May or Sam Darnold say, I'm going to Disney World. You realize that, right?
Yep.
And I tweeted out last night. I was like, hey, you want to have Patriots and Seahawks preseason? First reply I got was, Darnold, top 10 quarterback. Great job by Mike McDonald. Darnold, top 10 quarterback. And I was like, well, people are going to have that. People are going to have that opinion. Yeah. And Darnold raises himself, gets a trophy. Darnold, you're going to sit here and look at back-to-back seasons. He's a part of a team that wins, 14 with Minnesota last year, 13 this year, ends up going to a Super Bowl this year with the Seahawks. The Vikings fall off without him. There's going to be a lot of Darnold love, and Darnold has that thing going for him where, a lot of people stake the reputation to him in the draft process. We're like, this guy's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
I know quarterbacks. This guy's going to be a great quarterback. So he's going to have all those people come back and say, see what we told you? It was the Jets. It was Carolina. It was, finally got put in good situations and good things happen with that talent. Darnold could win a Super Bowl, and then the conversation is, well, look, took him a while, but the guy's now figuring just how to win. The guy's just winning right now. Or Drake May, who's going to be a runner-up for the MVP, is going to win the Super Bowl. And this is not to the detriment of Jalen Hurts. This is just simply realizing where we're going to be. I'm just looking ahead to the show sheet that you make in May, the show sheet you make in June, in July, list season for everyone. It's not going to be kind in terms of quarterback discourse. And I'm already dreading that back and forth because I'm looking at it right now. One of these two quarterbacks is going to raise the Super Bowl trophy. And I heard this morning, Salciunas opened the show with talking about, hey, if you're not a fan of Hurts, whether locally or nationally, people are going to be looking at this like, wow, back-to-back seasons, look who won the Super Bowl.
Sure.
And I'm already dreading the quarterback conversations that we're going to have in this offseason. Yesterday I watched, I was like, quarterback discourse broken. this offseason. Absolutely destroyed this offseason.
Well, and it's, par for the course. I'm with you. It's going to be a little bit more drastic this offseason.
Yeah.
I could get there with you on that one. A couple things hit me when you bring that up. One, it's in my bio, and I think if you are a Jalen guy, you need to put it in your bio.
Well, they're not going to click your bio when they're getting mad at you on Twitter, man. I know you're trying to help.
Your man. That's what it comes down to. It's like, look, you can't. He's not perfect, but when you bring up this conversation, it's like, wait a minute. O'Connell is one of the best football minds, right? He gets praised in Minnesota, and Kubiak is now like everybody is talking about. He's the next guy. So Darnold's had two really good coaches. Huh. So you mean to tell me that coaching might matter as well?
A little bit.
Kevin Patullo isn't even a mark on either one of those guys' drawers when it comes to coaching talent and what he was able to provide assistance to Jalen Hurts this year. So, immediately, I want to back my guy up going, I know he's not Joe Burrow. I know he's not a guy that's going to go out there and sling it 35 of 38 for 4 touchdowns, whatever it may be. Jalen Hurts has plenty to work with that can take him back to that elite level. Again, they made it to a Super Bowl and won another. That's not a fluke. You have to find the right system, the right scheme, the right plays. And, oh, by the way, get some help as well along the way from some other players that are on your damn team. Catch the ball, A.J. Brown. All right, maybe no penalties. Saquon Barkley, can you catch it out of the backfield as well? Again, that 49ers game was a winnable football game, and that's the bad taste in our mouth, and that's the one that we're going to have to ride off into the sunset for this offseason in the back of our minds. But I am not giving up on Jalen Hurts, saying that he is the reason why this team did not advance and ultimately get to another opportunity to compete for a championship.
So there you go. You are prepared. That's the question there. Are you prepared for this offseason worth of discourse?
Not only am I prepared, I will be the first man in line.
All right.
Taking bullets, shielding them, throwing them off. Just bring them to me, please, right here. Absolutely. Look, and this isn't contrived. This isn't forced. This is just the reality of the situation. Jalen Hurts is a damn good quarterback. He is a playmaker. With that, I will say he's not perfect. He is a little bit flawed at times. Yes, I'm right there with you. And the one thing that really worries me more than anything, and maybe I'm a little over the top on this compared to some, is I felt like he did lose a step. Half a step this year. Jalen Hurts was able to get out of the backfield, get out of the pocket, and pick up those tough first downs just by getting to the sideline, and he would just get in front of the chains, move them. And that's such a huge difference, right? It's no-brainer, no need to go into why that's deep. Bottom line is he wasn't able to do that this year. And then he would go down, which is great. You don't want to take the hit. But now, all of a sudden, instead of picking up that first down, it's 3rd and 3, and they don't have the tush-push, and things weren't happening for the offense in those tough down and distances this year. So I'm worried about Jalen Hurts becoming another step slower. That is the number one point of emphasis for me to make sure that that isn't happening this year. But if he's ready to go, if he's Jalen Hurts of last season or 2 years ago when they won the championship, as far as playmaking ability is concerned, bring it on. I got my Jalen Hurts shield right here.
All right, so you're ready to shield. I'm just preparing ourselves for what's going to be a long offseason.
Are you ready to shield?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
prepared.
You're not.
I'm not prepared in the slightest. I mean, listen.
You said you're a Jalen guy.
I am a Jalen guy.
You're not, though.
I absolutely am. The problem is when I sit here and they say, yeah, look at what he didn't do this season. I'm like, yeah, I watched it. I watched it happen. I think with better coaching, he can get back to being the quarterback we all know.
Yes.
That's absolutely the case.
Okay.
I'm already concerned about this coaching search. You heard me last week. You guys were all, hey, it's going to be Joe Brady. It's going to be Joe Brady.
It still might.
It still might be. But we're going to get to that coming up because if all I'm doing right now, my positive takeaway from this weekend was coaching matters. And they have a coaching opening that can make a significant difference in where this team's going. My negative takeaway was, man, I'm going to hate the quarterback discourse this offseason. Because what we're going to do, you laid it out perfectly. The reasons to believe that Jalen Hurts, no matter what's said this offseason, you're going to be right back at the same place with him again. That I'm right there with you. The issue is, as further we get along into this, I don't want to be debating Sam Darnold over Jalen Hurts. I believe in the ability of Jalen Hurts over Sam Darnold 10 times out of 10.
I would hope so.
Yeah. Except right now, I'm going to watch Sam Darnold play in the Super Bowl this week.
Do you know who led the league in turnovers this year at the quarterback position?
It's crazy because a philosophical difference for this Eagles team is something I want. It was Darnold that led the league in turnovers. You know how much it mattered?
20.
He protected it when it counted.
20. Also, real quick, shout out to Tristan. Shanahan and Holmgren. That was the other Mike. Mike Shanahan, Mike Holmgren.
Ah, wow.
Mike McCarthy-Tomlin.
Holmgren, two of the spots there. Good for him.
Yes, that's what he has.
How about that?
Nice.
All right. So to that point, we got plenty of coaching updates that we want to get into. So we'll get into the rest of the hour talking, one with James Palmer about or what James Palmer had to say about a candidate for the Eagles and how quickly that all evaporated. And Mike Garafolo also gave an update on some of the offensive names that you should be watching for this Philadelphia Eagles team. We'll play that for you coming up because then we could dive into all the different candidates and everything going on with this coaching carousel right now. But for you guys for the weekend, watching the games yesterday, you heard me. I have a very, very positive-oriented takeaway to start. And that's more the way I feel. I feel more encouraged coming out of championship weekend about the Eagles' chance to get back there in the future, looking at next year. But I'm curious for you out there at 610-632-0975. Watching what you watched over the weekend, you find yourself more encouraged or discouraged based on the difference between the Eagles and the teams that you watched. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. We're in for Johnny Marks today. This is Middays with Marks on 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The search for an offensive coordinator continues. I'm Brandon Dutz, and the Philadelphia Eagles are still looking for their next offensive coordinator. And Mike Garafolo of NFL Network talked about 3 names who are still in the mix for the Birds offensive coordinator position.
The offensive coordinator search still goes on, and they have some veteran options that they have interviewed already that remain in the mix. Jim Bob Cooter, Brian Dable, Matt Nagy.
After falling to the New York Knicks in a close one on Saturday, the Philadelphia 76ers are in Charlotte to take on the Hornets. Tip-off has been moved up to 3 o'clock, and you can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. And the Flyers will look to make it 2 in a row tonight against the New York Islanders after blowing out the Colorado Avalanche on Friday. Puck drop is set for 7 o'clock, and you can listen to that game also right here on The Fanatic. And the rematch is set. Super Bowl 49 is officially good to go, and Super Bowl 60, is officially good to go, and it will be a rematch of Super Bowl 49. Drake May and the New England Patriots will go against Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks down in Santa Clara a week from Sunday. This report is also sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the Sixers, the Flyers, and the BetSports coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5 The Fanatic app.
Veteran options that they have interviewed already that remain in the mix: Jim Bob Cooter, Brian Dable, Matt Nagy.
There's your names.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're on day what? 7,500 of the offensive coordinator search.
I know we're saying that tongue-in-cheek because it's kind of like, hey, it's on the show sheet no matter what.
Yeah.
But there's no rush, right? Like, you're
No.
okay?
No, there's no rush. I just remember back in 2 years ago, because we all keep comparing. I've lived the 2023 timeline now for what, 6 months? Because every time we start talking about this Eagles team, well, it's not 2023, but, and then you compare it to 2023 inevitably, somehow, some way, and we're comparing this offensive coordinator search to that. Because I saw Zach Berman, the Athletic, said that the timeline for the Eagles from the firing of Brian Johnson to the hiring of Kellen Moore, if you put that in the demotion of Patullo to a hiring, that would have been last Friday. So this has gone on longer than that. And I forget the exact timeline back then, but I'm pretty sure they got a later start on that as well because Jeffrey Lurie was looking at yachts and definitely not trying to decide whether or not he was going to fire Nick Sirianni. And then they took their time to have that Sirianni-Howie presser and then, announce Kellen Moore. But to that point being,
It's going to be fun to look at yachts.
yeah, it's got to be great. I imagine that. I'm a big fan of a good boat show. I know you did the boat show back in the day. Yeah.
The boat show. Back when it was an AC. Now I believe it's local.
It's in Oaks.
Oaks.
Yeah. Hey,
Correct.
listen, that's some good business for us up there.
There you go.
Greater Philadelphia Expo Center.
Let's do it.
Love that place. All right. But to the point here, I don't think it's bad to take your time. The issue is when you take your time, and I've now talked myself into secondary candidates that might not be out there anymore, that's where I start to get concerned. And the underwhelmed word is the one I used on Thursday, and I got the whole, you don't know who it's going to be. Brendan Gunn. Well, things could work out great next year. I was like, yeah, that doesn't help me in the moment or how I feel.
That's
And
fair.
The feeling of underwhelming right now is there when I hear Jim Bob Cooter, Matt Nagy. Like, that's
Bobby Slowick.
Bobby Slowick going to stay in Miami.
Matt Nagy doesn't really do it for you.
No.
Okay. What about a new name that's not being discussed, but he pulled his name out of the hat for the Buffalo Bills?
Oh,
as
you're
the
going
head
to just
coach?
tell me on Phillip Rivers here.
I'm not selling you. I just am curious, because that's exciting, right? Would that not be, wow, that is just next level innovation. We're bringing in Phillip Rivers. This is going to be an immediate impact as far as in the locker room, the culture. Look what he did for the Colts in those 3 weeks.
Yeah, I apparently have a culture guy. He's my head coach. I want someone that's got experience actually designing an offense. And, with all due respect, I know he's played with the longest career. He's obviously designing an offense for the high school he's coaching, which is great.
Yeah.
Very happy for him. There's success there. To that point, though, to design an NFL offense and then call, because you're not getting much help beyond that.
True.
You're play calling is something that they're focused on. If they went into this search and from every beat we've heard, hey, they're looking for someone that's going to call plays. Then they switch it from, hey, we were looking for a guy that's calling plays, but instead, Phillip Rivers was a legend, and we're going to give him the opportunity to be our offensive coordinator. That's a massive, drastic switch in what they're looking for. That would concern me as, okay, do the Eagles really know what they're looking for, or they didn't find what they were looking for, and they're just going to go put all their eggs in this basket?
So who's the name then that would excite you? And, oh, by the way, check the box that is going to be the right man for the job.
Well, Joe Brady would be, I think at this point, the last name out there where I would come in here all right, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm excited for this. And the issue is, and I heard you and John talking about this on Thursday, about okay, the plan is now we're going to wait out the whole Joe Brady sweepstakes. Is there a Joe Brady sweepstakes for that to be had for them? Joe Brady, if he doesn't get the Buffalo job, then you're sitting here saying, okay, where does he go? Is he going to be the Eagles offensive coordinator? Is he going to be, if he doesn't get the Buffalo job, that means that if Dable gets the Buffalo job, that Tennessee offensive coordinator job's open. Maybe he goes there. Or you look the Ravens, the opportunity to work with Lamar Jackson. It's not just necessarily slotting in, the Eagles are going to land Joe Brady because Joe Brady's out there. We've seen now, as much as it is an attractive job, there are other attractive jobs out there. Working with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I would consider that an attraction.
Also head coaching positions as well for Joe Brady.
Yeah. Could he go out to Vegas? Could Tom Brady land Joe Brady? That's the thing. If I'm right now just sitting here saying, yeah, Joe Brady would be great, that's wonderful. But Garofalo, and you want to play that for us one more time to go through the names? Because he's not saying, hey, it's a guarantee, it's Joe Brady. He's saying, look at the experience they might get.
The offensive coordinator search still goes on, and they have some veteran options that they have interviewed already that remain in the mix: Jim Bob Cooter, Brian Dable, Matt Nagy.
So Daboll gets mentioned there, which is nice to still hear Daboll at least linked a little bit to the Eagles.
That's good.
But Jim Bob Cooter, Matt Nagy, like that's kind of where we're at. Because again, it does seem like they have a very, very strong value on this guy has play calling experience. That's what we need.
I'm not down on Matt Nagy like most people are. I'm not. And I get it. There's plenty of flaws to view. Look what he did with the Chicago Bears as a head coach. Is Mahomes coming with them from Kansas City? No. Why didn't they keep him? I get it. He thought he would get a head coaching position and try to put himself in that position starting, I believe, as of last offseason, and now he's not getting that nod, so he's got to fall into backup part number 2, and that's to go get an OC job. I think Nagy, and there's something in it when it doesn't work out and you get fired, you get removed, and you go to another place like with Andy Reid. I think there's a lot to gain from that experience, from both of those experiences. So I'm not poo-pooing Matt Nagy like most are, and I'm not saying you are.
Oh, I am. You can put that on me. Yeah, I absolutely am.
There's nothing that does it for you for Matt Nagy? Like, why would you just be so anti-Nagy?
I just look at what the Chiefs were as an offense this year, and I think and the one thing that will go for him is I think the initial jolt in Chicago, like when they got going, hey, Trubisky, is he going to be a quarterback for this team? Like that first season where you put everything together, it was like, hey, they might have something here with this guy. Calling plays. I have an offense that's working.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of hit a little bit of staleness, and that could be part quarterback, part coach. But the fact that Andy Reid showed him the door this year, and I don't think he's really got a strong hold on play calling there when you're working with Andy Reid, that's enough for me to say, yeah, if he came here and I got to trust him with play calling and designing something for a totally different quarterback after he failed with one of the best quarterbacks that I've ever seen, then I'm going to find my concerns there. That's why I would not be thrilled with
It's Joe Brady. We want Joe Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Right. Joe Brady's the name.
I'm not going to fight the fight for Matt Nagy, but
no, I understand why.
I'm a little bit more like I think there's some good with Matt Nagy, especially when they're in this situation. Fair or unfair, the Eagles, the list of candidates continues to get thinner and thinner. Right. And people like you, Ray, aren't alone in the way you're thinking. A lot of people are going to come away going, if they don't get one of those guys that are at the top of the list going, oh, see what happened? This is, worst case scenario. They weren't able to get their options at the top. And McDaniel, I don't think, was a real option. Daboll, he's a head coaching candidate.
Right. And he just gets thrown back in there by Mike Garafolo, which is nice to hear because for all we had heard, I think it was Rossini that reported, hey, he's either getting that Bills head coaching job or he's headed to Tennessee. I love this coaching carousel. When does this happen? When have I seen? Because McDaniel did the same thing. He took the Chargers job. He's still doing interviews.
This is the craziest because, first of all, this is in a long time. I don't remember this many head coaching positions being open. And then, by the way, you add the Bills to the mix at the end of the season. Yep. So the names, McCarthy gets the new gig. We'll talk about him coming up later in the show. Gets the gig with Pittsburgh. There's a lot of names, a lot of moving parts. And I won't lie to you, like Slowick. Okay, so he's going back to the Dolphins to lead the charge as an OC. He got promoted. Huh. Interesting. All right, so he's off the list now. It's crazy. It's, you got to keep up with it.
You do. And we got more names that we're going to throw at you coming up that we're just – this is going to be the – are you educated enough on fill-in-the-blank person to be the offensive coordinator? Because some of the names are thrown out there at this point. It's like, yeah, all right, sure. I remember that name existing maybe as a player like 12 years ago. Or like I remember this guy being mentioned once or twice by fill-in-the-blank analysts. But like – Nagy, at least we have takes on because we've seen it in action.
Correct.
Some of the names that we get to at this point, and it's the divide. I asked Brendan Gunn this when we were working together on Thursday. Like at this point, if you're the Eagles, if you are in charge, are you valuing more the idea of being the experienced play caller or the idea of, hey, we need someone to come in here with totally fresh ideas, scrap it? Like the Shieldhouse versus the Nagy. Like this guy's never called plays. He's worked with McVay, though, and he's going to bring in revolutionary ideas to you. He's young, hotshot, like that's kind of where he's coming from. Or the Nagy of like, all right, he knows he's the adult in the room. That could help you out offensively to call plays.
It is an interesting way of looking at it. I would just say Nagy did, going back to 2008, began his coaching career as an intern here. So the homecoming, we always love that, I kid.
Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting you say, like, the safe route, because that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers did, and I kind of come away going, okay, Mike McCarthy, the Eagles have an opportunity to get better. So I want somebody with experience calling plays at a professional level, but man, if you can get somebody that's next level when it comes to offensive ingenuity, intuition, somebody that wows you, yeah, I feel like Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman might swing.
At this point in the search, I put this out to you at 610-632-0975. Call or text us at 610-632-0975. Are you valuing play calling as much, given the candidates that are still out there? We'll give you a few more names coming up. We'll break it down a little bit more on day 10,000 of the offensive coordinator search. I promise, someday we're going to have something new. And also coming up, as we get to the start of the 11 o'clock hour, watching football yesterday, there was a national discourse that began about football weather. We'll get to that to open up the 11 o'clock hour because I think we have some pretty strong takes on that here in Philadelphia. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn, in for Johnny Marks here on Middays with Marks on 97.5, The Fanatic. Welcome back in. Middays without Marks today. Johnny Marks under the weather alongside Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. Brandon Dutz running the board for you today.
I got the soundboard right next to me. I pulled it next to me. What is the Open Your Heart Jeffrey Lurie from?
Oh, that's a great question. Is your board frozen over there?
It's frozen.
Of course.
You got to open your heart from Jeffrey Lurie. I wonder what that is.
Yeah, it's on Menards Sport if you want to go find it, Dutsy. Because, I don't know. I can't say that I've gone through the entirety of what we have in here.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now that I'm Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and Saturdays.
When
I'm not preempted by the Flyers or Sixers.
And not preempted by, potential little bachelor party action.
No, I won't. I don't call out.
I know, but you had that one on the books long before Saturday was the thing. So
but I would have rolled in late.
Whoa, all right.
Yeah, I would have rolled in late. I'm the new guy on the block. You can't mess around. But I do get preempted by the Sixers and Flyers on Saturdays, and that's all well and good. Two great teams, two great franchises.
Today, Unfiltered getting preempted by the Sixers.
How about
Moved up to a
that?
3 o'clock start.
Yeah.
Guess what I'm going to be doing from 2 to 3?
I believe producing.
Producing Unfiltered. How about that? Looking forward to it.
It's a team, baby. Anyways, I one request, and I'll bring it up this week to the powers that be. I'd like to have a board.
Drop board?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they
Sean,
can.
you want to hear it? Hold on.
Oh, yeah, please. Open your heart. Jeffrey Lurie.
Mine's not playing either.
We're frozen.
You're up, down? You at the...
We're frozen. That's all good.
It's up, yeah.
Yeah, well, all right.
We're frozen. We're
That's
having some
good.
issues.
I'm sure that we have plenty of people in the building to come fix it, too.
I know that exactly. We do PHL 17 from time to time.
Yes.
And I was watching yesterday their coverage of all things snow happening around the Delaware Valley. And they went to commercial break with an Elsa. And Elsa getting arrested. And I got a chuckle out of that.
And Elsa getting arrested?
Yeah, because of the
Yeah.
the weather and all
Right.
that. But the reason why I chuckle is I have a kid. You don't have a kid. So
No, I don't.
That type
The
of
YouTube chat was calling Dutz my child. They were having Ray's son run the board today.
That's nice.
This is off from school because Springford's off classes today.
Dutsy! Did you get a haircut, Dutz?
Thursday?
You
Tomorrow?
did.
No, I get it this Thursday. I play on Thursday.
Okay. No,
Yeah,
no.
every 2.5.
You see the way
2.5
that the
days.
headphones are fighting for life over there, trying to keep everything down?
Look at
I can't keep it both ears at once. I have to keep it on and off. I can't.
It's the best hair in Philadelphia Sports Talk Radio.
You have to
Brandon
watch
Dutz.
YouTube when Dutz is producing, just for the hair, just
Yes.
for the look at the hair. But getting back to where we were, I think there's a fun game to be played here of real person or fake person or Eagles offensive coordinator candidate. Because you're getting to the point where it's like, is this person real or are we just throwing out names to throw out names here?
I feel like, we used to do one that was a porn star or hockey player. That's what it was. So that's where we're at right now. But you're right. These names that are being discussed for the Eagles OC, and this thing is changing. It evolves, and it takes the conversation, Ray, to another level. But please go ahead.
Yeah, all right. So we got Charlie Weiss Jr. we heard about. So,
Sure.
very real person. LSU going to go back. Corey and Diana Rossini did talk to the Eagles about the offensive coordinator interest going back. Arthur Smith was apparently talking to the Eagles going to Ohio State.
Saw that.
Gerard Johnson.
Who?
Real person. Quarterbacks coach was actually on the Eagles, I believe, preseason roster back in early 2010s.
Huh.
I believe I played Madden with him. Before you do roster cutdowns.
Yeah.
I love taking the third string quarterback. I'm a huge Matt Kafka guy. Not to be the offensive coordinator, but
He's
because
so huge. His name is Mike Kafka, not Matt. But go ahead, though.
I thought I said Mike. Did I say Matt?
Maybe I heard Matt, but go ahead.
All right, my bad on
I'm
that
messing
one.
with you.
To that end, Gerard Johnson's been the Texans quarterbacks coach now for a couple years. Worked with Sirianni before.
Yeah.
Now he apparently interviewed 2 years ago for Kellen Moore. When Kellen Moore got the job, I apologize for forgetting that happened. I don't know how many other people that they remembered that he interviewed with the Eagles at that point, but I believe it was Dave Zanagaro saying he did. So he's a candidate.
All right.
Frank Smith, real person, offensive coordinator for the Dolphins over the last couple of years.
I think I got a neighbor by the name of Frank Smith.
Yeah.
But okay.
McDaniel Light, that's where you're going here.
And what was his what did he do for the Dolphins?
He was the offensive coordinator. So Mike McDaniel, everybody talks about. There was a guy that actually was, there as the offensive coordinator.
Frank
Smith.
Smith is now in the Google chat. All right.
Yes. So Frank Smith, another guy that they're apparently looking at here. But that's where we're at. And the bigger question, do you want to pose that bigger question?
Well, I guess for my money, the big takeaway is this. It's like, wait a minute. Now I'm starting to get concerned.
Yep.
Now I'm getting worried because it seems like we are flailing, bringing anybody and everybody in, and maybe there is reality to the fact that a lot of the big names, the targets on the top of the board, aren't interested, A, B, have issues, or C, look, the Eagles just can't land the guy that they want. So now we had this idea of what the Eagles were trying to do in this offseason, bring in an offensive coordinator, hand the offense over him to a point. Sirianni's the head coach, we understand, but somebody that advance the scheme, that can raise Jalen Hurts. I don't think Jared Johnson or is it Jared Johnson?
Yep.
Or Frank Smith are going to check those boxes for people.
No, I don't think so either.
Is that the big question?
I mean, that is the big question.
Okay.
That is the exact big question that we're having. It's just that, Thursday I was nuts. And this is not you saying I was nuts. I have people reaching out to me. Like, I opened that show Thursday on Unfiltered, and I got texts from people I'm friends with, like, dude, relax.
I might have told you you're nuts, yeah.
Yeah. I'm concerned.
Well, John was saying the same thing with Dable and McDaniel. Well, they were obviously targets at the top, and I go, all right, I could get down with they were targets, but that doesn't mean they're coming here.
Right.
Like, Dable is considered as a head coach. McDaniel is very clearly considered a head coach. So the fact that they aren't coming here, I didn't really did I want Dable? Sure. McDaniel is an interesting conversation. I wasn't really going guns blazing for the guy, but I feel like McDaniel would be a huge get right now.
The issue is when they say swing big, and then we're talking about, is Frank Smith someone that's actually an NFL coach or just a name we made up, or is Gerard Johnson an NFL coach or a name we just made up? You're not. When you say swing big, you are sending the expectation. So you're like the stupid money comment that keeps coming back up when people are like, Middleton doesn't spend enough. Middleton spends plenty for the Phillies. But when you say that, people, when you don't land the free agent they want, are like, well, you said you're going to spend stupid money. But in this case, when you say you're going to swing big and you bring in a guy that we're all on Wikipedia trying to get information about, that's a problem.
Frank Smith, 44 years old. Yep. Miami University, and that is Miami of Ohio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Google me.
Frank Smith.
Action. There you go. The board's working again.
Love the Mac.
You strike me as a guy that Tuesday night.
We
got an irresponsible amount of money on Mac football on a Tuesday night.
Akron.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. Let's go. I will just
Give
tell
me your
you.
favorite Zips quarterback over the last couple of
I will
years.
just tell you this much. There was a stretch this year where we had football for 8 straight weeks or whatever it was, and obviously it's courtesy of Mac being played on the days that they were during the week. There's nothing better than that run. And now Ray, all we got is one.
One game.
We got one game left. So just think the season started here in our backyard.
Yep.
Oh, my God, the bread man's spitting at Dak Prescott, and now we got one game left.
Just like that.
I got the Shrine Bowl tomorrow.
Oh, that's good. You let me know. You keep me updated on all things Shrine Bowl.
I couldn't believe that it's being played tomorrow. When did they start playing the Shrine Bowl on Tuesday?
Once they saw how good the Mac was doing on Tuesday nights. How do you get ratings? Give people football on Tuesday. Don't tell the NFL we'll have Tuesday night football coming to you on Costco Plus.
That's a good call by you, yes. Love Costco.
Also, Clayton Adams, real guy or their fake guy or an Eagles offensive coordinator?
I used to play softball with a kid by the name of Clayton Crosby. Clayton Adams? That sounds like an actor.
Cowboys offensive coordinator that blocked the interview for the Eagles.
That's right.
Yeah.
How about Jerry?
Oh, Jerry.
Sticking to his guns.
I got to give him credit on that one. That's good work by him.
Yeah, I give him the nod on that one.
All right, 2 things are coming out this weekend. National debates that we could definitely take here in Philadelphia. One, do you build the dome? Was the AFC Championship game enough for the NFL to look around and say, hey, next time you build something, make that thing indoors because I don't want to watch what that second half was on Sunday afternoon? Are you going to be pro or anti-dome coming up? And also, 4th down decision-making. We talked about how great Sirianni is in terms of a game manager. Do we see 2 head coaches that had poor game management that cost their teams yesterday? We'll get to those conversations coming up. We'll continue on this offensive coordinator conversation that just won't die because I've hit my concern level. And we also asked the question, should they put as much of an emphasis on play calling as they set out to do at the open of this? At 610-632-0975. Coming up, fun 11 o'clock hour for you alongside Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn in for Johnny Marks on Middays with Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Super Bowl is set. I'm Brandon Dutz, and the championship games took place yesterday and started with the AFC. Drake May and the New England Patriots beat the Denver Broncos in what turned out to be a blizzard in the second half. And in the NFC, the Seahawks took down the Rams in a shootout. In just 2 weeks, the Seahawks and Patriots will clash in Santa Clara in the Super Bowl 49 rematch. The Eagles are still searching for an offensive coordinator, and James Palmer discussed why some coaches might feel taking the job could hold them back.
I think when these guys are looking at the situation and the quarterback situation, they are going, can I run exactly what I want to run? I just think there is an aspect of the offense, and it's still Nick's offense, and you're coming in, with an offensive-minded head coach, per se, into that situation to where there's some things that might hold you back from doing the stuff that you want to do.
Sixers begin the first game of a back-to-back today against the Charlotte Hornets, with game time being moved up to 3 o'clock due to weather conditions. Joel Embiid and Paul George have been ruled out, and you can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. And the Flyers return to the ice tonight after beating the Colorado Avalanche on Friday. Puck drop is set for 7 o'clock, and you can listen to that game right here on The Fanatic. And this report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You will always have a place at Mad Call, the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP, or visit mad.org. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
The 11 o'clock hour coming up here on Middays with Marks.
Reggae Tuesday going down?
I guess. Caputo did a good job last week with it.
She's money.
Yeah, she is. I was really impressed because had I been producing, I would have been like, all right, let me just see how deep into the Marley cuts I could go here. That's about all I could do for you. But
Can I send some reggae cuts?
Sure.
Nice.
Absolutely. Make the job easier. I have actually no idea who's in tomorrow for us producing wise. It might be Dutsy again.
All right.
Could be Nate. Because I think we're doing like a rotation. We're doing a rotation in the rotation.
In a Tuesday show, Middays with Marks is called again on Tuesday? Reggae
Tuesday.
Reggae Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
Right. Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
Reggaeton.
So we got Flannel Friday that we brought back last Friday.
Saw that.
Yeah.
I need to get a flannel out.
It's all right.
I need to find. Oh, we got the Thursday thoughts.
Yes.
You weren't
Thursday
here
thoughts.
for Thursday. It was all right. I had one about wrestling that got a reaction from some people, and I like wrestling. I'm not a wrestling fan, but I'm not here to hate on it. I just was like, all right, when I'm seeing it on SportsCenter, it's like
A little much.
What are we doing?
A little much.
Yeah.
Also, too much promotion. All right, too many
It's on
commercials.
every day,
Yeah,
I'm with you.
no, it's not football. All right,
Correct.
All right, guys, you get to pick like 3 days of the week. You can have it. All right.
And one needs to be Sunday morning, all right, or Saturday morning. Saturday morning.
No. Saturday and Sundays for the soccer people. They got their that's their time.
Glory, Manchester United with a big victory over the weekend. Nobody cares about.
Don't
Sorry.
you get me started. My Gunners.
That's right.
Yeah,
How
just
about
because
that?
one of my best friends from high school is a Tottenham fan. That's how I decide Arsenal. I was like, you know what? Just to make you livid, I'm just going to be an Arsenal guy.
That was a good game.
Yeah. Rodman was watching it yesterday while we were all hanging out in the hotel.
He's a United guy.
Yes, he had the sweatshirt on. He was thrilled.
He is a United guy.
Got very excited at one point. Salciunas was like, "What's going on over there?" So, just some
If
soccer.
there was a soccer game to watch, it was that one.
Yeah.
That one delivered. 3-2 final score.
He was thrilled. He was enjoying it. So yeah, it was good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, no, Saturday and Sunday mornings. If I can't go to an Irish pub and get just a little too drunk for like 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning and watch some soccer, what are we even doing?
Oh,
Here?
what are you, the black taxi down there?
I'm a big Fido'sman.
Oh.
I enjoy a good stop at Fido.
Nice. There you
Yeah, they do a good job down there for some soccer. But to get started here, one, I have to address something on the YouTube chat. If you're not watching on YouTube, what are you doing? Go check us out on YouTube here. You get to see Dutsy's hair today, which is enough, really.
Best hair in Philadelphia Sports Talk Radio history. Not even just now, present day. That's history. I can speak on it.
And again, I could see by the way that he's got his headset on right now, he still can't get the headphones over the entirety of it. See, yeah, he's trying. He's fighting.
He's got that 80s.
There you go. It's on.
That
See
80s
it?
quaff.
Flip
Like,
it.
Yeah.
You know, where he's like.
Oh, he would just
The young
absolutely
teen.
kill at the Breakfast Club High School.
There you go.
He would be just unbelievable. They would love him in detention at that.
That's a great movie, man.
It is a great movie. Another movie that I've seen. You know, I got to make sure everyone knows that I get a few cultural references. But on YouTube, they're making fun of me because I guess the way I'm sitting, I look very short.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if Salciunas has a new chair today. I don't know what the deal is with this.
It is musical chairs in this place. I won't lie. There's one that I like because my feet touch the ground. John Kincade likes one that he's up a little bit higher. I prefer because that actually hurts my back. And then when I was in here one Saturday, none of the chairs are in here. So it is musical chairs inside the studio. Keep the chairs in the studio, please.
Well, yeah, and also like, why is this chair? My knee is like just now up against this?
Are you growing?
I'm
Look at you, Ray.
maybe. I got the boots on today, so it makes me look like I'm 6 foot. These are very deceptive boots.
That's it.
All right, let's get to what we watched over the weekend because yesterday, great day of football. He says there's not like for me the
It was
game.
good.
The game at 3:00 had juice because I was rooting against the Patriots, and I'm just gonna be very clear about that. Like I know there's people like it's not the same Patriots. Who cares? No, I'm sorry. Someone that's lived my life as a Boston sports fan has seen double-digit titles, and that's not okay with me. I'm not okay with it. I saw today our sister station up there, Sports Hub, like, we're back and you got to deal with it. And I was like, yeah, if I was you guys, I'd be saying the same thing, but that kills me.
Yeah, look, 12 Super Bowl appearances. That number was shocking to me, even though we know Brady and the history that was. I tend to forget some of those losses. Of course, against Brett Favre and the Packers, that one I forgot about with Parcells as the head coach. Ultimately, it's 12, and you think about how many Super Bowls have been played, a good percentage, good chunk of change there been being represented by New England, which is funny. Boston Bruins had an incredible run. Celtics still in the mix of it. With Tatum back, they might be the contenders for the East. I know the 76ers were the contenders for the East on
We'll
Friday.
get to it.
But you're right. Damn Boston. Damn again.
Yeah, like, so that had juice for me because of that. We'll get to why that game fell apart in a moment here. And then it was a good football game for the NFC Championship game. I enjoyed that.
It was a great football game. The trilogy paid off.
Yeah. So now the debate coming out of the 3:00 game was, should there just be a dome everywhere? Because clearly the elements took over. There was a moment late in that game where I believe it was Romo that ended up saying in that, like, hey, if the Patriots go score here or they just take control right here, they've got the 3-point lead. The weather's coming. Like, within moments, it went from nice day to I can't even see what yard line they're at. Can someone explain to me where they're at the field? And we're watching with no audio there in the bar, so I'm like trying to like, does that look like where the head coach would usually stand? Is that about midfield? Where are they starting this possession? And you get to that point where pass game, totally non-existent. Run game, that's about all you get. Like, you're watching 1930s football all over again. Is that good for the league? I would argue no, because most people would be the casual that want points and like, hey, let's just watch offensive numbers explode. Problem is for me, There's no way in which I'm advocating for domes everywhere because I love to watch that football. I enjoy that football. I enjoy that chaos of like, oh, they better score here because the snow's coming down. They're not going to be able to do anything. Like Saquon running through the snow last year. You going to take that moment from me?
Yep. Exactly.
But I ask you, Sean Brace, is it good for football? Should we want more indoor games so that games aren't decided just by elements?
Yeah, it's funny the way you put it like that, and it's hard to argue because that game was sloppy, and I don't know if we get a much better game with the way that offense has been. The numbers are there as far as the Patriots are concerned, back-to-back games where they only scored such amount of points. I think it's the lowest to get to a Super Bowl and the Super Bowl era as far as playoff teams are concerned. So I don't know we're going to get ultimately that drastic of a difference when it comes to offense, point production, so on and so forth if you play that game in a dome. But I do think as far as watching it, viewing experience, it would be better. Yes. I'm beaten down already with this conversation, not to say right here today. But
just in general, it's been out there plenty.
My point is, the reason why I say I'm beaten down is because I've flipped. I am now on I was so anti, no, Philadelphia, you have to have an open-door stadium. But in this day and age, if you're building a new stadium and you don't put a retractable dome on it, what are you doing? You're not smart. You're not a smart business person.
Final Four.
Everything needs to have a retractable dome. If it's that easy to do, which it seems like it is, all these new stadiums are being built with them, then yes, concerts. You need to have the retractable dome. Now, would that open it up for an ownership group to say, or a head coach to say, you know what? It's an NFC Championship game, and I like our team. Let's say Saquon Barkley. Let's just say last year, Rams, are you opening up the roof? Like, I would hope that would come into the equation as a head coach. And if that's the way they're going to go about it, I think it's an advantage across the board. So, like I said, I've been beaten down. The naysayers have won on this one. I'll give it to them because I was holding out. I'm an old school guy. This is what football isn't meant to be climate controlled.
That's right. It's football weather.
It's cold. It's wind. It's rain. It's snow. That's what we want. It's the great equalizer. You get out there, two teams competing against each other. Yeah, it's a slick ball for both quarterbacks. But now if you could give me a retractable roof, I think they're pretty cool to watch. Give it to me.
Yeah, see, I still want the football weather. I'll be a caveman. I'll be a caveman in that. And even though yesterday I get it, like the best pass of the second half might have been Stidham with like the chest pass. Like that was about the best we got. That was ridiculous. Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly football. But I think we're going to, I saw this take on the timeline, and it might just be maybe I've adopted the groupthink there on this one. But I see the tweet of in 30 years when everyone's got the dome and we're just watching indoor football.
Correct.
Pretty much. Are we going to look back on the CBS scene set of the snow coming down in Denver and be like, well, why did we ever get rid of that? That's awesome. The experience for the fan is brutal when you watch it secondhand. That person's freezing cold. It's snowing on them. They paid a lot of money for that ticket and they could not be colder. They're probably miserable because the football they're watching stinks. And especially with the Broncos fans yesterday, again, sorry, Dutsy, you're just in a terrible mood watching that happen because you feel like your fate is inevitable. But I'm watching that game man, if Harvey could just break one here, if somebody slips, can they tackle? I'm watching it just so intrigued by they put these guys in snow. How awesome is it?
Well, I would say 30 years from now, technology, I'm sure that there will be some advancement where you can have the snow, the rain falling down on the playing field. Everybody else is dry in the stands. You got the retractable roof, right? It feels like it's 75 in there, and you still get the breath. That's what I love about football. I love the cold breath. I love when you see, them breathing in the frost just coming out, the frozen breath. I love the muddy jerseys. And we're going to lose all that. I get it. But if you could still some way try and figure that out, sign me up. Again, I am pro retractable roof. I've been beaten down.
I'm just in what world are you going to have the retractable roof and you're going to decide, you know what, we're going to go with this weather event? Because
of exactly last year against the Rams. I think that's a perfect example, Ray. Now, would Sirianni make the right call? Is that a Howie Rose? That's a Jeffrey Lurie deal. It's his backyard. It's his home. He's the one that says, okay, yeah, let's keep the retractable roof open.
So I'm just looking at this because I'm getting the bullet points here of what the roof policy is. So hour and a half, you have to make the decision.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. So you have to make the decision early. And if it starts open, it can be closed because of bad weather, I guess.
Okay.
So, like, if you decide it's open and the league makes a call at halftime that the snow's coming down, we want that thing closed, we're clearing up the field, like, we're going to have, like, oh, did the league decide what team was winning this game? It almost seems like we either have to go all the way. You can't just, like, dip your toe in this. Because I'm kind of with you. Like, yeah, give me the retractable roof, but let me get the snow games when I want them. But that feels like dipping your toe in without going all the way in.
We can't even hire an offensive coordinator. You know, like, we need to worry about what is important at this point in time versus, an hour out of the game, what are we going to do? Open the dome or close the dome? I don't know. I would say just from the standpoint, and again, I know we're having some fun, but of the fact that you can host Final Fours, do other things throughout the course of 365 in our climate here, I think it would be a no-brainer.
Yeah, well, obviously, I want to see a Final Four here.
Yeah.
Think about all the concerts that could come through it.
Are you going this year to March Madness? It's going to be insane.
I got to file that credential request for that because
I'm going to go Sunday. I'm going to go Sunday, which is the round of 32, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
But the first Friday is in Philadelphia. That's unbelievable, man.
Fantastic.
We
got to be out for
I'm with you there, man.
Yeah. Hey, I'll put that in the email, too.
March Madness. It's here, literally.
Oh, we got some news here. Offensive coordinator news. I don't think we need the sounder for this one because it's not the end of this. It's just
a new name.
Another candidate.
Do we know him?
Is out.
Oh.
So Declan Doyle, if you remember the 29-year-old wonder, the guy that's younger than Connor Thomas that they could turn things over to, the offensive coordinator that's worked with Ben Johnson in Chicago that they apparently interviewed. He has withdrawn his name from consideration in the Eagles offensive coordinator vacancy. So Declan Doyle, you are not going to get a 29-year-old offensive coordinator here in Philadelphia. He is withdrawing from consideration. Will stay with the Bears, work with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
All right.
How does that make you feel? Hell yeah is not the way I would characterize that one.
Maybe he got a vibe that, again, it's one of those deals where you don't want to overreact and go too crazy. Like, I'm all right with them throwing a huge net out there and interviewing anybody and everybody. Phillip Rivers, come on down.
Yeah, you can interview him.
Yeah, interview him. Fine. Sure. And you brought it up. Why should the Eagles want to interview Phillip Rivers?
Hey, man, what do you think we're doing, and what do you think about what we're doing?
There you go. And I think that's one thing you're going to ask every one of these candidates. Yeah. And I'm sure there's plenty of candidates that have come in that have no shot at getting this position, and maybe their intuition, their spidey sense was going off and saying, you know what? It's better if I pull myself out rather than I just get passed up. I don't know. This is one of those deals like we will have a little bit more venom when the name is announced, or we will be giving them a roaring round of applause if they're able to get Dable. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we need to see the finished product first.
Yeah, are they getting the sense that it's someone else? And it's like, actually, I'm withdrawing my name. Like, that was funny to me at Phillip Rivers with the Buffalo Bills job today. Like, Phillip Rivers being the one that's like, no, actually, I don't want the job. It's like, okay, guy. Like, I get it. You had a fun run here with the Colts. You're a Hall of Fame quarterback. But, like, are you at the coaching level where you could be like, nah, man, I'm out, like, before they make a decision? Unless it is really just him withdrawing while they're still in the process and they don't have a coach. Maybe
First time he's ever pulled out of
Hey.
a coaching search.
Right. Of course. That's what we're talking about.
Coaching.
Yeah, we're talking about coaching search. Absolutely. All right. James Palmer, because you mentioned.
Come on, man.
You mentioned the spidey sense is going.
Yes.
This was interesting for the beginning of our conversation with him on Friday, which I thought was tremendous. I mean, you should go back and listen to it. If I would tell you, though, you should go back and watch it on YouTube because you, in full Kiss attire, talking to James Palmer was just tremendous.
I wore makeup for 9 hours. My face is shot. I got like all these bumps and zits. Like, it was absurd on Friday.
How do you think he managed that throughout the
I have no idea. I was wondering that myself.
Yeah, that's kind of where I would go to with that.
But, and the cool thing was on Sunday, I sent you the video. James Palmer was on the sideline yucking it up with somebody.
Yeah.
So I caught that.
James Palmer having himself a weekend out there in Denver.
Damn right. Covering the game
where he lives. Now, James Palmer on with us on Friday gave us this about the offensive coordinator opening.
I think it's around the league enough about what you have to do offensively to make this group work. Doesn't mean you can't win a lot of games with them. You certainly can. Kellen Moore did just that, and it got him a head coaching job. But the revolving door aspect of it as well is a little bit at play, I would think. But I do think when people look at the job, there's a couple things they're curious about, and maybe rightfully so.
So, a couple of those things, obviously, we've gone through a million times. Autonomy of the offense, coaching staff, quarterback, all those things working, and the revolving door aspect of it that he's mentioned. Declan Doyle withdrawing from it. And we go through the names that have withdrawn or gone other ways. And it's
I almost want to say no way is that a real guy, but go ahead.
yeah,
sure.
Declan Doyle, real guy. Sorry, yes. Fake person or real candidate for the Eagles offensive coordinator job.
That's funny.
You sit here and you get another withdrawal, and it's kind of like, all right, is it us? You know, I think John likened it when I was in that 2-chair one of those days to the, or no, you might have been here. I was producing where you did the it's not you, it's me type of thing.
Yeah.
Are the Eagles getting a lot of it's not you, it's me when it's really them?
Could possibly be the case. You know, we don't know what is being discussed. We don't know what's being said. I don't know the vibes. I also believe that, you know, there is a part of me that wants to say that the Eagles have their 2 to 3 candidates, know they're going to get one of those guys, and maybe some of these other B to C candidates are sniffing that out themselves. I know it's a boring answer, and,
Right.
and people want venom, and they want, you know,
Well,
I want blame.
I want you to be right. Really, what I want for this in this entire process,
I
that
like that.
Declan Doyle got this and was like interviewed, sat down, said, you know what, I'm going to get myself out of this thing now because the Eagles have decided that one of Brady, Daboll, and maybe it's Jim Bob Cooter's just kind of waiting in the lobby for hey, if nothing happens, Sirianni, we work together, man. You know, there's no way that they could possibly say my name and be legitimately upset with me on the Sports Talk Radio. Imagine yelling about Jim Bob Cooter. I said this last week, but like we yell Patullo, Jim Bob Cooter. Like you're just gonna be laughing here.
It's pretty funny.
Entire time.
And it's
Yeah.
going to be all his fault. The new
Yeah.
OOC, I hope they got some broad shoulders.
Yeah.
Because everything is going to be their fault. Not Sirianni. It's going to be the new OC's fault
Right.
if this offense doesn't hit the ground running.
Unless we do the same thing we do with Moore and be like, oh, wait a second, it looks a lot like Sirianni's offense. It's like, maybe he does have his hand in there.
He's the CEO, Ray.
Uh,
That's what his job. That's his
autonomy, man.
duty.
He wants to be the head football coach. That's what he wants to be.
So much good.
Yeah,
That's right.
I just think that, you know, again, you want me to be right, and that's the right way
Right.
to look at it. It's just like, hold up. Let's see how this all shakes out. They know who they're going to get. There's plenty of good representation out there as far as agents are concerned. So now just bring up Phillip Rivers. He's getting the best of the best. He knows he didn't have that job, so therefore, yes, it's your best interest to say, I'm pulling myself out versus they didn't choose me. So maybe we're getting a little of that now, too.
Right, yeah. So maybe that's it. And maybe they do have their 2 or 3, where it's like Brady, Daboll, and Jim Bob Cooter's hanging out. Like, hey, man, you give me a call if you need me. Like, you got me on speed dial, Sirianni. If you need me, I'll be there when you need me. Like, and they're saying Daboll, maybe he doesn't get the Buffalo job, takes Tennessee. Maybe Tennessee fills for some reason. I don't know. Again, I'm very uncomfortable with the idea that there's all these head coach, offensive coordinator. Like, if I don't get a head coach job, then I'll take this offensive coordinator job.
I'm just curious.
How do you get 2 jobs at once?
The Colts, I know they had a good run. They were in the same conference as the Patriots, and we just talked about the Patriots won all those Super Bowls and represent the AFC. How many Super Bowls did the Colts win when Sirianni was there? All this connections to the Indianapolis Colts. Like,
None.
huh.
Yeah.
All these former coaches that were with Sirianni are getting the
Hey,
opportunity.
man.
Okay. All
Frank
right.
loves him, and that's the best thing you could put
Man.
on a resume. Frank Reich, coach. I coach with Frank Reich. That's what Sirianni wants.
Yep.
But if it's not Daboll, maybe it's Brady that doesn't get the opportunity he's looking for. Gets here. Like, maybe they do have 2 or 3. Maybe they're narrowed down to 2 or 3. 2 of them are the big swings, and one of them's just the safety candidate. And for everyone else, like, I'm good.
I had a long weekend. I know a lot of us did.
Yeah.
You're a guy that's, you know, got a little less as far as responsibilities
True.
on the
Very
plate.
true.
So catch me up as far as the Raiders. Where is Daboll ending up? Is he getting a head coaching job in your mind?
No.
Who's getting the Raiders gig in your mind?
That's the great unknown for me.
Is Daboll up for the Raiders gig? Is McDaniel's up as well?
McDaniel, yeah, is technically up for it.
it seems
McDaniel
like-
took himself out of the Bills running.
Yes. McDaniel is in the running for 2, the Raiders and the Chargers, correct? OC.
Yes.
So he's getting one of those. Daboll, what's the latest with him?
Daboll, the latest with him, I think, is still
Obviously,
the search for Buffalo.
The
and,
Eagles did just
and
pop up
Tennessee.
today.
Yeah, they popped up with him. Like, his name's been mentioned back with the Eagles a little bit, which maybe if you want to start holding out hope that maybe there's that Tennessee thing was a little premature in the reporting.
So Daboll's going to have the option to be the head coach of Buffalo if he gets selected.
Right.
If not, then it's going to come down to OC with the Tennessee Titans or OC with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
Huh. There's a connection with Daboll?
He did interview over the weekend for the Raiders. So I guess there is a world where in which he ends up in
So there's
Vegas.
just too much unknown with him.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to connect the dots on, like I said, representation. These guys know each other very well. They want the conversations are being had behind the scenes, especially with Dable. Hey, we want you here in Philadelphia. We know that you would fit this system. Like, you're the guy.
Yeah.
So that conversation is happening. So it's like I can't go crazy over these other candidates, bringing them in, getting them in front of Howie, and I have no idea who they are. If in the back of their mind, wink, wink, we know Dable's our guy if he doesn't get the Buffalo gig. He's not going to go to Tennessee. He's going to come here. That is on the table.
I would love them to be playing that level of 4D chess.
But it's not. I don't think it has to go that far of 4D chess when it comes to just relationships. Owners, former coaches, agents.
Yeah.
They talk.
Oh, absolutely. We were questioning the fit, though, of, hey, Dable was the offensive coordinator for Hurts 10 years ago when he got benched. Like, what's their dynamic like? I don't know their dynamic. Dable was the offensive coordinator when Sirianni was on staff at
When
Kansas
he got
City.
benched at Alabama,
Yeah.
Saban made a joke about that during halftime of the Miami game.
Did he?
He made a joke about that. It was perfectly timed because that's what humor's all about.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh hell, man, put 2 in there." Like, he made a quick, and it honestly, I think that's all it was, because he made the point of, after that first half, Miami was playing a little bit too close to the vest. They got to open it
Yeah.
up. He's like, man, this is one game. He's like, oh hell, put 2 in there. It was a great one-liner.
He's getting good at television.
You know who else is? Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady's getting good. I'm going to have to stop being... I got a real strong anti-New England thing
singing
going.
when he sang the physical part, I was like, oh, I got cringe chills down my body.
Yeah, but
he's good.
When you watch Romo for 3 hours and then get traded to Brady.
Jim. Gotta go for it.
All right, I want to play for you something coming up. Might be the most encouraging piece of Phillies audio we've played for you.
Oh, Phil's.
Encouraging Phillies audio. We haven't played that for you maybe since September.
Is this more Rob Thompson comedy hour?
No. Rob Thompson not involved in this. Not a member of the Phillies organization.
Is this Bryce Harper at the cafe?
No. What in the world was that?
Is this, I don't know, where are we going? Positive Phillies conversation.
Positive Phillies conversation.
I'm in, baby.
Positive Phillies conversation. A conversation about a member of the organization that's not over the age of 30.
Wow. Love it.
I didn't know if we had any of those left. All right, that's coming up next. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Search for an offensive coordinator continues. I'm Brandon Dutz, and this update is brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration, championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call 610-980-4000. The Philadelphia Eagles are still looking for their next offensive coordinator, and Mike Garafolo of NFL Network talked about 3 names who are still in the mix for the Birds' offensive coordinator position.
The offensive coordinator search still goes on, and they have some veteran options that they have interviewed already that remain in the mix. Jim Bob Cooter, Brian Dable, Matt Nagy.
After falling to the New York Knicks in a close one on Saturday, the Philadelphia 76ers are in Charlotte to take on the Hornets. Tip-off has been moved up to 3 o'clock, and you can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. The Flyers will look to make it 2 in a row tonight against the New York Islanders after blowing out the Colorado Avalanche on Friday. Puck drop is set for 7 o'clock, and you can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. And the matchup for the Super Bowl is officially set. Drake May and the Patriots will go against Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks down in Santa Clara a week from Sunday. This support is also sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at Mad Call, the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP, or visit mad.org. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the Sixers, the Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
wait. I'm sorry. I could see the meter going in there of like 30 seconds, 29, 28 till we get to it. It's just,
Wow.
I can't. I'm sorry. It's a great song. You can let it keep rolling under us here. Yeah. So we can get that moment. But,
Wow, it is really. It does take forever to get
oh
there.
my gosh,
Yeah.
it takes forever.
Yeah.
It takes forever.
It's all right.
Yeah. So sorry.
Good
Sorry,
weekend?
it didn't pay it off.
There you go.
I enjoyed my weekend. I had a nice weekend. I imagine I'm in the minority of people that enjoyed this weekend. Anyone under the age of like 18 probably had themselves a great weekend.
Sure.
People probably around my age also with the limited responsibility that I have.
Yep.
Probably enjoyed the weekend. But I would imagine the lion's share of our audience, and that 25 to 54 demo, I would imagine a lot of people miserable on this Monday.
Yeah, it was one of those deals where, it just snowed all day yesterday, so you had to shovel multiple times. The
Yep.
day before was kind of like, when is it coming? Is it coming, later? When? Whatever. And so you really do much Saturday. You didn't leave the house. I'm speaking, maybe people did. I don't know.
Yeah. Or they went and got ready. I got to go get mom ready.
Yeah.
I got to go get dad ready for
All
the storm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was fun. I got out a little bit as far as sledding with my daughter, which was cool, but I shoveled. I'm curious to know how many times John got out there. I know he's a little underneath the weather, so who knows.
Oof.
But I ended up shoveling 4 times yesterday. 4 times. And, it got thick and heavy late night. It was ridiculous.
Well, my dad and I were doing the trading text back and forth of be careful.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, hey, listen, my brother's living there at home. Let him take care of the let him do the shoveling. Let him go.
I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
Yeah,
And the crazy thing is, right, I'm out there by myself at night. So I'm thinking to myself, if I go down right now,
right.
no one's coming to get me. I'm an hour later, my wife's going to be like, is he still outside shoveling? I'm going to be face first in the snow.
So you got to be careful.
You have to.
And especially I was walking on that snow because I got up early. I came in here yesterday. I was here probably before 9 o'clock.
Slick.
Because I wanted to just get ahead of the storm. You see what I drive. That 02 Avalon's not making it much snow. That thing is.
Avalon?
Yeah.
Toyota?
Toyota.
Okay.
Great to stick around, but that Toyota Avalon's not making it,
Sure. I have a RAV4 brand new, and that thing barely gets around.
Right.
All right?
So I was like, all right, I'm going to get
tomato
here.
can.
I'm going to go park in the driveway, which, by the way, I was coming down 76, and I, producing, Mike did the reap for Gateway Kia, and he did the Kia Telluride, talked about it. He had the Telluride, and he would talk it up and talk about how great it was, and, I'm listening to it every day. Sure enough, I'm driving on 76. Car comes past me with absolutely no problem. Kia Telluride. I was like, you know what?
There it is.
There you go. I was like, I'm watching real life advertising happen for me in my head. I'm like, man, that Telluride really is getting down the road real easy throughout the snowstorm.
I had a Highlander before the RAV4. The Highlander was awesome. There was weight behind it. You were able to move, and you weren't scared of any bad weather. Again, you always want to be controlled.
Right.
My RAV4, though, man, the wind, and next thing you're in a different lane. Whoa, what's going on? So, yeah. But it was nasty out there this weekend.
Yeah, and I was trying to drive through it, and people are, doing the stop. And I'm like, you can't stop. That's not the way you drive in the snow. Just let me get to my location.
Got to be smart.
But, my dad and I are trading texts. You be careful when you're driving. I'm like, you be careful shoveling. We're both giving each other, I know snow. Don't question me. But I imagine more people were in that camp where my dad, my brother, and all them snowing or shoveling and being all miserable. Me, as soon as I got here, parked the car, I was like, man, it's beer o'clock.
Yeah,
Enjoy the
the
rest
bars
of the day.
were bumping, man. My buddy Beef was literally in a bar for 2 straight days up in Conchi. Everybody was
I bet.
vibing, great times.
Yeah, every bar I follow on social media was like, hey, by the way, we're open.
We're open.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Damn.
I know. But, yeah, so I imagine for a lot of people, a miserable type of Monday, just the way they're feeling. So I'm going to lift you up here with something.
Okay.
That's very great.
I like it.
And I'm going to talk Miller here, but I'm not talking about the beers we're consuming. I'm talking about Aiden Miller.
Ooh.
And Steve Phillips on LB Network dropping this when they talked about the top 100 unveiling, which he came in 23rd in the top prospects in all of baseball.
Their fans felt like they got a gut punch when they lost out on Bo Bichette. Get over it. Listen, Aiden Miller is the future of this organization. This dude, he's playing shortstop right now.
Yeah.
But he ultimately may move to second, he may move to third, but he can swing the bat. First-round pick in 2023, and this young man has legit speed. So 59 bases last year, and some of the comparisons are Alex Bregman, but with speed.
Oh.
I mean, great plate discipline, pitch recognition. He's got pop in the bat. He's got athleticism. He can play solid defensively, shortstop defense, maybe at third or second base. So, listen, if it's Alec Bohm, Bryson Stott, whatever they want to do in the future, it's okay you didn't get Bo Bichette. Aiden Miller's part of the future. When he got drafted, there was a veteran Philly scout that said that he's the best position player prospect that they've drafted since Mike Schmidt. That's what they think about him.
Wow.
Thankfully, we're not setting the ceiling too high for him.
Wow. I didn't know we got the next second coming of Chipper Jones coming to town. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, Mike Schmidt, who had 548 home runs as a Philly. Yeah, he's your best prospect since then.
Woo!
Don't be upset about Bo Bichette. Still be upset about Bo Bichette. But don't be upset about Bo Bichette because they got Aiden Miller.
Steve Phillips got me excited here on a Monday. Bring on baseball. Let's go.
So the question, does he get here when it matters?
Little over the top?
Very over the top, for sure. Any prospect analysis is over the top. Because, there's 100 on that list. Out of those 100, how many are living up to being the best prospects drafted since Mike Schmidt? Like, there's 22 prospects that they're ranking better than him. And they're saying that he's the best one they've drafted since Mike Schmidt. Of course, it's over the top. But it's nice to hear.
I mean, he's playing shortstop right now?
There's the question. So does Turner eventually flip over? And you're just going to give Miller the keys to short? And does that mean Stott's without a job? Or is Turner going to be a shortstop of the future? Dombrowski said a few times they love the idea of the way that Turner's going to age. He's got better in the field last year. Bobby Dickerson doing all that work with him in the infield working out. So we moving him over to third. Or, hey, are we still getting rid of Stott and moving Miller to second? There's a lot to be had here. I think for this fan base, the easiest thing for everyone is they hear Bregman's name. They say Bregman with speed. Bregman, third base. Third base? I don't like that Bohm guy. Yeah, he'll be a third baseman. I think most of the fan base hears that. Mike Schmidt was brought up in there. People are going to be like, yeah, he's going to be a third baseman.
Who he's going to be better than?
Right. Well, he's the best since.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Well, he did say he's going to be better than Wade Boggs, right? In that clip?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Boggs, I mean, come on.
Scott Rowland didn't sniff anything, right? I believe that's what Steve said. I would just say that maybe it used to be a bigger deal, right? You look at the Bo Bichette, and maybe the Mets are nuts, but this was something that the Phillies were going to have to tackle as well.
Yeah.
Where was he playing in the field?
Oh, they were nuts when they designed that outfield with Castellanos and Schwarber. They were like, yeah,
There you go.
bleep defense. We'll just hit a bunch of bombs.
Yeah, but then catching the ball is a little bit different than playing a hot corner, just a little bit, especially you've never done it before. But putting that to the side, that this guy is the greatest. I mean, I'm not trying to put words into Steve Phillips' mouth here, but
Pretty much.
I think he just said this is the greatest Phillies player ever in the organization history. I believe that's what
That's
he just
kind of what he
said.
said, yeah. Chase Utley is going to be a Hall of Famer next year, and we're talking about how Aiden Miller is the greatest prospect they've drafted since Mike Schmidt.
Look, I'm all about hype, and that's something good, especially when you're doing a show. But like you said, we gotta tone it down. It's Aiden Miller season apparently over there at the MLB Network. I would believe that that's the type of thing that will work itself out, right?
Right.
I don't assume. I assume that Alec Bohm is probably going to be moving on after this.
Yeah, I would assume so.
He's going to get a payday. Hopefully, he has a great season, and that
Absolutely.
and that handles itself.
You know, it was great when Pat Burrell was able to go sign elsewhere after the Phillies won a World Series. The parade got to be the last thing.
Yeah.
You know what, Alec Bohm, you hit a double in Game 5 of the World Series. We'll send you off on your way.
Sign me up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's going to happen, but we can at least project that one.
I'm all bombed up. I think this is a good year for Bohm.
All right.
I do. I am. I'm bombed up.
Yeah, that's good.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, what you gonna do? I was doing Bone Thugs and Harmony. You were doing what? A little Olympics? Were you doing the Olympics?
It felt like a little Olympics there.
I was doing Bone Thugs.
Yeah, NBC's got the Super Bowl. NBC's got the Olympics. It's the year of Tarico. I'm going to do the NBC.
I'm curious to know what happens when we walk out in France as a country. What do you think is going to be the reaction to when they go, the United States of America? How do you think Paris, France is going to handle that?
Now I'm going to sidestep that when we come back. I was able to do something on Saturday that I was told for a week wouldn't happen. All right?
I love America. Yes. That's what we're gonna get. A lot of
I
that.
don't. Yeah, okay. I was able to do something on Saturday that a lot of people told me all week I wasn't going to be able to do, and I just kind of want to have a moment here where we realize that you talk about hype, the hype last week to what happened. I just want to have a moment on that. We'll get back to
Can't wait.
So all of the Eagles conversation. We'll hit the text line 610-632-0975 coming up next. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. Sean. We're going to have another Sunday like this one, apparently.
I know we like to think that the sky is falling, especially anytime snow comes. Now, they got this one right.
They did get this one right.
Okay, are we going to give some weather people some credit? Because everybody wants to rip on them, and I hate being the guy that's backing the meteorologist, but it really irks me when people are like, oh, they get everything wrong and they still got jobs. It's like, wait a minute, man. Like, they're predicting the weather. It's not exactly that easy, right?
Yeah.
And they're off a couple inches. I get it. But there are people that are sensationalizing the weather and amping things up just a little bit. But they got this right.
They got it right.
This was a hit, and it didn't stop. And if it kept, instead of switching over to ice, and it was dropping 3 inches of snow in an hour.
Yeah, and they said this leading up to the weekend that everything was moving a little bit north. You were going to get that line of sleet, ice, and snow. You know, if you followed along, they got the story right here.
2,000 miles.
Now the one thing, and also, I love when sports people go after weather people as if we don't have disastrous takes like that. Like if it's a sports person that's like, I can't believe weather people are employed. They get it wrong all the time, and it's like, all right. Let's run through the Rolodex here. Who did you doubt in this town?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of us that got a lot wrong. Hand up on that one.
I had the Patriots covering the number. They ended up winning, and I had the Rams covering, and they did not. So
yeah.
I was 0 for 2 ATS.
Yeah, I was going to say, just in general in life, I had Sirianni fired. He won a Super Bowl. I could go through a whole laundry list of things that I've gotten wrong.
I'll tell you what, I didn't fire him, but
Good for
I
you.
was no, because I was about as close as it gets at that when the Tampa Bay game happened, and apparently Jeffrey Lurie was on the same wavelength.
You were buying yachts too.
I was,
You and Jeffrey Lurie.
exactly.
Down at the boat show. So to that though, the sensationalized, because apparently next week could be something like this again. We're just hanging out, thinking about snow. I could get stranded in New Orleans. Already looking towards that.
Ooh.
I mean, there's worse places to be stuck.
Absolutely.
But I was told all week, you are not going to be able to get anything to eat by Saturday. If you go Thursday, you haven't gone food shopping yet? Don't bother.
Gotta get the
Everything's
milk and bread.
picked over. Everything's gone. Everything's gone.
Milk and bread.
You won't be able to get your eggs. You won't be able to get your bread. You won't be. You haven't gone shopping yet? You won't survive. Friday. What do you mean? You didn't go yesterday after we told you that you had to go? No, you told me I shouldn't go. So Saturday, I waited until the last possible second. I went to the wonderful Acme by me Saturday night. And you're thinking, it's the eve of the storm. There's going to be nothing there. Picked up protein bars. There's plenty. If I wanted to get food to cook, I could have gotten myself a little steak action, a little chicken. I could have gone and got myself some eggs. There was plenty of frozen meals still available for me. Got some pasta for myself.
How many people? How many customers in the store?
There was like a dozen of us.
How many workers? Probably a handful.
There were 3 lines open. Because they usually only do self-checkout. There were actually 3 lines open. That was impressive.
I don't even get that regular.
Yeah. But the eve of the snowstorm, I just want to point that out, Sean Brace, to everyone that said, this guy's no shot, you're going to be able to get food. Saturday night, eve of the storm, we're 12 hours away from Snowmageddon, and I was able to get plenty of life-sustaining food.
Look, we are survival experts, you know? I mean, we're Bear Grylls when it comes down to it. Just give us an opportunity, give us a sliver of hope, and allow me to get out of the house. I'll find food.
Yeah.
Like I told John, I go, do you remember bringing it way back, 2012? I once spent $100 plus at a 7-Eleven. I bought bread, milk, eggs. Like, you got to do what you got to do.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you went to the store. You were able to save a couple bucks, too.
Yeah.
No headache. You got a front row park job. Good to go.
Yeah, I just don't understand. What do you people have in your homes in general that when it snows, it's like I have to change my entire life to go get it?
People freak out.
I just want to get to the psychology of that.
Yeah, it's an interesting... it would be an interesting place to be for some, but they do freak out.
Is it wrong for me to have been more concerned last week about the Eagles' offensive coordinator search than my life-sustaining food?
No, because you're a solo man.
Yeah.
All you have to do is worry about one mouth.
Correct.
Where you're going to lay your head one night.
Yeah.
You know, that's you. When you have a family, that changes everything.
But to that point, I could have bought for a family Saturday night. I'm confused what all of you are buying.
Well, power goes out. Anything is possible, right? You never know. You never know these days.
And the toilet paper section's just totally picked over. And I'm like,
Got to get the TP.
Do you guys not have TP regularly?
Got to get the TP.
Did we all think we were going to be in the house for a week?
Possibly. You never know. You got to be prepared. Got to be ready.
I don't get it. Now, also, you and I had the same problem this weekend.
Which
I went
is?
to Acme. It was not the exact same
Oh.
issue, but pretty much the same issue. I went to Acme. I love the Acme cookie. For those of you out there that don't know this, in the bag, the cookie that got down in the back of the bakery section, I went to get my bread because, you can't survive a snowstorm without bread.
Sure.
And I saw the Acme cookies there, and I haven't had them since the summer. I was like, I need to get me some of the Acme cookies. Those things are like a drug to me. I had one of them, and I was right back in. I was like, I could go through a dozen of these right away. That's like pretty much my life-sustaining food over the last 24 hours. Unfortunately, if it wasn't the food I had at the bar yesterday at the hotel, it was an Acme cookie. This morning, breakfast, Acme cookies. I am hooked on those bad boys. They're delicious.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've been on an Oreo kick inside the house. Oh, by the way, the Girl Scout cookies as well for a day last week. I've eaten way too many cookies. My gym was closed today.
Oof. No 5 o'clock crew today?
No.
That's
just
brutal.
A rough start to the week, and I need to get off my butt here. I will tell you, first of all, I never even heard it mentioned with the GLP.
GLP-1?
Started reading a little bit.
Have we started to go down that path?
When you brought it up, we brought it up last week.
We did.
I was like, an endorsement was offered here. I was like, would I do it if it was an endorsement? I don't know. So I had no idea about any of the details. Ozempic is the only one that I knew of. I don't even know why people do it. And, that I thought it was a weight loss. It's not. It's for diabetes, apparently. I guess. I don't know. Like I said, just real quick
Remember, I didn't
skimming.
get sent that email.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was real quick skimming. You don't need it.
I would like to have at least been offered the opportunity to make some money.
20, 25, 30, I could knock that off and I'd feel great.
Uh-huh.
And if you're telling me that it's going to add years to my life, if that's the case, then I might need to go down that path.
So we're walking down this path because we're a week away from
Fat Face. Yeah, Fat Face February is coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to shave off the beard.
I definitely gained weight this weekend.
I think I did too.
Chili, cookies, couple beers Saturday
You mentioned
night.
That's clutch work. Clutch work by your wife with the chili.
The chili.
That weekend. Chili in a snowstorm.
And the crock pot.
Nothing better.
And I'm not a sour cream guy, but chili, sour cream, cheese, and cornbread, Ray.
Oh.
We made corn. Are you going to eat your cornbread? Yes, I ate a lot of it. I gained weight this weekend, man. Look at this. Look at this gobbler.
It's Fat Face February. A week away.
And I had the hash brown today. I ate it. I don't want the hash brown, but I ate it today. See what happens?
If you want, just bring it for me. I love the hash brown.
Cold?
I mean, by the time you get here, what, about 15 minutes away?
You're getting my hash brown.
I'm taking your hash brown from here on out. All right? Coming up, we're going to get a chance to hear Dutsy go after the news at noon. We'll see what Dutz has got for us cooked up in the news at noon. Plus, we're getting back to, we watched football yesterday. Inevitably, I thought about the Eagles as I was watching football. And yesterday, I'm not really, aside from hating the Patriots, there wasn't a huge rooting interest for me in that game, those two games. I'm thinking about whether or not I should feel better about this team going forward. My team. When can I see my team do that again? Should I have been planning for the Mega Blizzard NFC Championship game this weekend? Instead, I was sitting in a hotel watching teams I don't care about. You feel more encouraged, discouraged? We'll go back over the takeaways I had from the championship game weekend. We'll get some of Sean Brace's takeaways from the games yesterday. As we continue on into the 12 o'clock hour, he's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays with Marks on 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The search for an offensive coordinator continues. I'm Brandon Dutz, and this update is brought to you by Barberos on the Boulevard. New year, new car. Cherokees and more Cherokees. $199 down, $199 a month. Is Barbero the best? Boy, I guess. The Philadelphia Eagles are still looking for their next offensive coordinator, and Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network talked about 3 names who are still in the mix for the Birds offensive coordinator position.
The offensive coordinator search still goes on, and they have some veteran options that they have interviewed already that remain in the mix. Jim Bob Cooter, Brian Dable, Matt Nagy.
As falling to the New York Knicks in a close one on Saturday, the Philadelphia 76ers are in Charlotte to take on the Hornets. Tip-off has been moved up to 3 o'clock, and you can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. The Flyers will look to make it 2 in a row tonight against the New York Islanders after blowing out the Colorado Avalanche on Friday. Puck drop is set for 7 o'clock, And you can listen to the game right here on the Fanatic. And the matchup for the Super Bowl is officially set. Drake May and the Patriots will go against Sam Darnold and the Seahawks down in Santa Clara a week from Sunday. Their support is also sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the Sixers, the Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Welcome back in Middays with Marks. Without Marks today, alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. Johnny Marks under the weather. I got a couple people checking. Is he all right? The snow, all this. No, he's just not feeling well.
Yeah, he's a little under the weather. It's happening. It's going around.
Yeah, which is kind of, I think, fatherhood, right? It's kind of constantly dodging the kids being sick.
It just recycles itself. It's in me, and then it will go into my daughter, then my newborn, my wife, so on and so forth. Just keeps spreading throughout the house. And I would imagine Johnny's dealing with that as well.
Yeah.
Little stomach bug.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He'll be back tomorrow. We look forward to seeing Johnny then. We'll let you know the 12 o'clock hours brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing, 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at servicefirsthvac.com. All right, Dutsy, you're up. Time for the news at noon.
This city needs its news.
Now, it's time for
I'd like to be remembered as a good newsman.
the news at noon
That's the coolest story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane.
with Ray Dunn.
All right, no Ray today, but I got you guys as Ray sits in the host chair. Ray, Sean, we're going to start things off today in Seattle. Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald asked yesterday, or actually last week, in an interview about how much he sees his kids. Said he only sees his son half an hour a week, which I can't believe.
I actually think I'm here less, which is, I wish some of our coaches took that as well, but on Thursdays, I don't get to see Jack throughout the week as much. So Thursdays I try to get, which is today, I try to get home pretty quick to be with him for maybe a half hour before he goes to bed. And then I got a setup at my house where I can go, and then I work on the game plan. But it's able to spend some more time at home and be with Jack. And also it kind of lets you kind of get away from everything and kind of see things from a different perspective. And it keeps you fresh, so it's been helpful.
Unreal. A half hour?
Yeah. Look, when you're making $9 million per year, these are the things that come with it. And it's a tough decision. But these coaches know what they're getting into because, he was probably working just as much, nowhere sniffing $1 million a year for the majority of his life. I mean, how old is Mike McDonald? Is he even 40? Is he 40?
38?
I was going to say, I didn't even think he's 40.
He was low 30s.
38.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was doing the whole, is Mike McDonald the new Sean McVay, just defense side.
It's football season, man, and you know it. Once football season comes around, our lives, maybe not you, Ray, because you're a midnight hour type of guy, but everything gets shrunk just a little bit more, and it's about Monday through Sunday, football season, right? And you know what you're getting into when you're in this world, whether it's this profession, or you're a player or media, you know darn well September through February, this is what you got.
Yep.
And you're going to miss those weekend parties. You're going to miss, the Sunday afternoon birthdays, so on and so forth. And I'm not making $9 million a year, that's for sure.
Correct, yes. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point to it. Like, there's a lot of people that make a lot less. A lot of those assistants that are making a lot less. They're pulling the similar hours.
Yeah.
Just 30 minutes. Also, for it just being specifically Thursday. I guess that's how down to a T you plan your life, where it's like, yeah, there's just a half-hour increment on Thursday that works for me.
It's tough. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy or it's something that he wants, but bottom line is, man, he's a head coach in the NFL, and he's on his way to a Super Bowl, and
it's working.
Pretty good gig. Oh, by the way, you can be the greatest father morning, noon, and night from March until August, right?
March until...
You got training camp in there a little bit. You got the draft.
Yeah. March until March.
He probably wants to get outside a little bit, too, as well. Hey, look,
second week in February to the second week in March. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. You got 4 weeks. Make it count.
Hey, those vacations are fun, though, all right?
What is it, Jack? Make it count, Jack McDonald.
That's it.
All right? Yikes. All right, what else we got?
Milton Williams, as we know, former Eagle, has the opportunity to win back-to-back Super Bowls with the Patriots this year.
Heard that.
And in the locker room, speaking with the media after the game, he shared Mike Vrabel's message to the team. Actually pretty fun one. Take a listen.
Just enjoy coaching us. He's proud of us. Said no curfew tonight, but the bus leaving at 8 in the morning. So if you ain't on it, you ain't playing in the bowl. So I'm pretty sure everybody gonna be on that bus.
Did he say that?
Oh yeah, I ain't playing. He said that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I realized weather was a little bad out there in Denver.
Yeah.
There's one guy that I would have gotten on a plane immediately after the game and said, go back to New England. It's Stephon Diggs. I don't know if I'm letting him out on the town. Cardi B, I saw the van. They were celebrating pretty hard, but that's fine. Yeah, look, I guess weather was an issue, so they ended up staying the night in Denver.
Right.
And go out and celebrate a little bit.
So, here's the thing. Flying back today, I guess you're fine leaving at 9. If the bus gets you at 8, I imagine you're going to go right to their version of Atlantic Aviation. You're out of there by 9 o'clock, 9:30. And
sleep on the flight.
Yeah. Landing by, I don't know how long that flight is, by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, you're sleeping on that flight for sure. You're partying the night
They
away.
partied.
Yeah.
Good hotel bars, plus the teams do it right.
Yeah.
There's definitely things set up.
The
festivities.
Patriots know how to celebrate these.
Unfortunately,
I can imagine
yes.
they're set up nicely to make that happen.
I would have
Nobody's missing that bus.
Yeah, exactly. I just was like, it had to be the weather because most of the time you do want to get back. I thought
You would think,
but
I guess you give them the night.
Denver is fun.
I've never been.
Oh man, a lot of fun out there. A lot of fun. I've only been 2 times. Good times though.
Yeah, I feel like the night's a normal thing for them to let them celebrate, even though they're away from home.
Sure.
Get up by 8. I'm just throwing this out there. 8 o'clock hits. There's a dozen players on that team that know that they could show up by 8:05 and they're playing the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're about a dozen.
Vrabel's playing, but you do have
Right.
time.
Milton Williams, I think if he showed up at 8:01, I think he's playing.
Warriors. How about that? Did you see Mac Hollins with the Warriors, the bottles?
I did see that.
Obviously, that's a tribute to the movie.
Yeah.
And apparently Vrabel played that movie to them, and that's where it came from. So now that's their battle cry.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I heard the don't change the recipe of the mac and cheese. Did you see this on ESPN?
Oh, and then Graziano was eating,
Graziano just said that their motto is, I guess they came back from Thanksgiving, and someone in the Patriots organization, which they're keeping it a secret, but apparently that person went to their Thanksgiving dinner and someone changed the recipe of the mac and cheese and it wasn't as good.
Oh.
And it became a point of conversation inside the Patriots locker room. So Vrabel went with the don't change the recipe of the mac and cheese. Don't change what we've been doing. It's working.
It is.
So their mantra is don't mess with the mac and cheese.
One more. That better be some good mac and cheese because that outfit stunk. Drake May, run and make a play. That's all they had.
87 passing yards?
We'll talk more about that one coming up at 1 o'clock because I got the best plays from Championship Sunday.
That's right.
But what
Brace's plays coming up at 1 o'clock.
Oh, Brace's plays.
Yeah.
That's
not that
good.
creative, but yeah.
That's
Brace's
good.
best.
No, Brace's plays.
Brace's plays. All right. I always question it. You know,
like that.
my mind only works in segment titles. Okay? That's the only thing that works up here. Something happens to me. I'm like, how can I repurpose this and how can I come up with a stupid title for it?
Love it.
All right, last one for you, Dutzy.
All right, last one here. Flyers Avalanche Friday night. Obviously, Flyers got the win 7-3, but a Let's Go Flyers chant broke out, and the Avalanche broadcast tore into Philadelphia. Take a listen.
You hear that? That's a bunch of people who have chosen to leave a city on purpose for a lot of reasons. But they continue their fandom. This is Denver, Colorado. This isn't Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You left for a reason. Leave your allegiance there, too. 1:55 to go in the third period. Want to be a Flyers fan? Stay in Philadelphia.
So another announcer out there that wants to bloviate. Love him. I would just say this. First of all, fans travel.
Right.
Especially to Denver, Colorado.
Heard it's a great time.
To see the Avalanche play the Philadelphia Flyers.
Correct.
That doesn't necessarily mean they live there, Holmes. That's one. Like, okay. And then go ahead and list those reasons why they're moving from. I want to hear that list, sir. Own up. Let's go. Speak on that, please.
Right. You won't.
I just, it's amazing to me that he assumed they all live there. Is that a big transplant?
It's becoming a big transplant area. I know a lot of people that picked up post-college that grew up in my area that went that way.
Go ski and party. What is the big reason? Like Raleigh, North Carolina is a big transplant area because of the upcoming RDU, the Triangle, work.
Charlotte's becoming that too.
Yeah, Charlotte, better weather.
Right. Yeah, that's it. I think I don't understand the weather aspect of it for Denver. I guess if you're a big skier, like maybe.
Oh, I got something for you. You ready for this
or
one?
Or if maybe you indulge in some.
Yes, that's definitely.
Yeah.
Well, but it's legal everywhere.
It's legal in
Majority of
Jersey.
places.
Yeah. Not PA.
Exactly.
I grew up that side of our area.
I would tell you this much. This was I believe, up until yesterday, Denver Broncos, every game that they had at kickoff, home game, was 60 degrees or higher.
I did see that.
How about that?
That is wild.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
But, of course, you saw the weather yesterday. And my buddy Kyle Fisher, who does sideline work for CBS, he had a picture. Third quarter, bright and sunny. Fourth quarter, his beard was just nothing but white. All snowed out. Yeah, look, weather's crazy up there. I don't know. Again, that's just a hell of an assumption by the announcer to assume that all those guys that are cheering are now living in Denver, Colorado. You got to drop your allegiance.
Also, if you're the Avalanche, or if you're that play-by-play guy, are you not thrilled if you go to a different city and they're like, let's go Avs, or wouldn't you be thrilled if you had fans in other cities? Isn't that what this is supposed to be? Aren't you supposed to pick a team and stick with it? He's like, yeah, you moved to Denver. Now you're an Avalanche fan. Like, why? Why would that be the case? If you go to Chicago and you got a lot of Avalanche fans there, wouldn't you be thrilled that you have more support there?
I believe this was in the fourth or third period.
Yeah, they were being smoked.
Where they dropped 4 goals on them. So, yeah, things got a little sideways.
They haven't lost a lot this year, and clearly they don't take it well.
Yeah, I was going to say, Colorado's having an unbelievable season. Yeah. This guy's crying on the microphone. But anyways.
Relax. Yeah. Breathe, man. There's
other stuff going on.
Amazing.
Come on, buddy. You're calling a hockey game. Let's
gotta be better. Yeah. You know who would never do that?
Oh, by the way, that weekend, too, in Denver sports and Colorado. Like, come on, dude, relax.
Yeah.
You got yourself an AFC championship game being played in your house in two days. You got the Rockies.
Okay, now that's probably a reason to leave. That's a reason why not to move to Denver.
Way to end the positivity train there, Sean.
Yeah. Nuggets. Come on, man.
Maybe he's just a big Jokic and Embiid guy, and he hates Philadelphia. He hates Embiid. He's had something against Philadelphia for a while.
There it is.
Just real quick, I mentioned who wouldn't do that. Mark Zumoff, who's going to join us coming up at 12:40. We're going to talk to Zumoff this weekend, the 25th anniversary of the 2001 team. The game on Saturday, they'll be celebrating it. They got a lot of great people going to be down there for it. We got a chance to talk with Matt Cord before the show came down. Was just trying to see who's actually in the building today, and Matt stopped by and talked to us, so he's excited for this weekend. Zumoff will be there. Allen Iverson, Aaron McKee.
Oh, man.
Yeah, go down the list of players from that team that'll be there in attendance for the 25th anniversary. So we'll talk to Zumoff coming up in a half hour's time. 12:40, he'll join us to talk about that team, that year, all the fun of that. So it'll be a nice, fun Monday for you. As we get back to some of the more pressing football matters here, where we started the show.
Yes.
Takeaways from yesterday. I had one positive for you, I had one negative for you. The positive was I watched the Patriots advance to a Super Bowl a season after they were a disaster. And coaching matters in this league. Vrabel gets there. They turn the tide. They did have a weak schedule for all it was, but they got themselves in that position. They end up capitalizing on the 3 games they got. They get back to a Super Bowl. You look at Mike McDonald on the other side and what he's been able to do in Seattle and turning that program into something. They've got really great coaching on the offensive side of things with Kubiak. And both those sides can say, hey, yeah, they've made coaching improvements over the last couple of years. That's put them in the driver's seat to capitalize on it, get themselves to the Super Bowl. If the Eagles are able to nail this offensive coordinator hire, which you've heard my concerns about, it's very much a year-to-year league. That coaching opening, I feel encouraged about the fact that, yeah, they'll be able to dial it back up and get themselves back where they can go. Now, my negative takeaway was, and I already saw social media was not thrilled with me and just opening up this can of worms and just thinking about it. I watched those games thinking about May, June, and July and what we're going to be talking about because I'm going to watch quarterbacks that I do not think are as good as Jalen Hurts. One of them's going to win a Super Bowl. And inevitably it's going to be, well, they just won this year. Didn't you tell me last year when Hurts won, he's got to be up there? It's like, yeah, no, I see your argument there. I understand. I made the argument about Hurts last year. So I'm not thrilled and not excited, and I don't think we're prepared. I don't think we're capable to handle the offseason of quarterback discourse we're about to get. Sam Darnold being a Super Bowl champion is going to break the brain of a lot of people around the NFL. Drake may too, considering, we've watched him play 3 subpar games, get himself all the way to the Super Bowl, and even Hurts' biggest detractors can't tell you he played 3 subpar games to get to a Super Bowl last year. Mm-hmm. So I'm not ready for offseason quarterback discourse. Those were the 2 takeaways. Sean, when you sat down yesterday and watched the bad and then good football that you were served, 3 o'clock and then 6:30 in terms of AFC, NFC championship. What was the big takeaways you had? And was there any Eagles thought process that you had in?
Yeah, look, I think you hit the nail on the head when it comes to Jalen Hurts. Like, that's immediately looking at the quarterback play, and you saw the drop-off from Stidham, from Bo Nix. It would have been interesting to see if Bo Nix was able to play in that game. Broncos probably, they have a better shot at winning the game, that's for sure. Stidham was a one-drive pony.
It was awesome, though.
Oh,
for a moment there, it's like, oh,
yeah.
Remember James Palmer said on Friday, people around the league are like, Stidham, Nix, what's the difference?
He was spinning it in that first drive, and then obviously Vrabel and the defense showed up. Yeah. Now, so I would say, like, the Sam Darnold angle popped off the page more than anything for me, and it's, number one, I got it wrong with Sam Darnold. I think a lot of us were saying, well, is he going to turn into a pumpkin? But bringing it back here to Philadelphia, it's like, okay, what has been the change for Sam Darnold? And is it strictly off of coaching? And, yeah, for my money, I'm going to give a lot of credit to coaching. I know Sam Darnold has the ability. We saw him in college. He was a great college quarterback. Oh, by the way, the first USC quarterback to ever start a Super Bowl.
That's insane. I saw that stat. That was up there with the Mikes and the Pope stat for, I can't believe that's a real thing.
They've had 26 quarterbacks selected in the NFL draft. That's the most of any school. Sam Darnold will be the first one to start a Super Bowl. And Sam Darnold did not play a perfect season. He led the year with all turnovers at the position at 20, which is interesting. In one game against the Seahawks, he had 4 interceptions. I thought that was going to be the end, and it's crazy. I'm all over the place, but talking about the Seahawks here, the key for them was winning that final game and getting home field. If they don't beat the Seahawks, oh, by the way, they were down 16, I want to say, in that fourth quarter. It was crazy what they were able to do, led by Sam Darnold in that Week 16 matchup. They were able to get that victory, and because of that, they had home field throughout. It's a whole different world if they don't. But bringing it to Sam Darnold and the Philadelphia Eagles takeaway, it's coaching matters. Sam Darnold had a great coach last year in Minnesota. He was tremendous in O'Connell. And then now you go to Seattle, where Kubiak is getting a ton of praise, and rightfully so. The offense is humming. They have this guy believing. It's not winning in spite of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold stepped up and played his ass off yesterday. And, oh, by the way, even in crunch time, we're saying, you know what, we have confidence in you to make the throws here. It's not about putting the ball back in the Rams or chewing up clock. It's let's go get the first down. And he completed the pass to Cooper Kupp. He completed that tough pass to JVS at midfield. They didn't score a touchdown, but that game was put on Sam Darnold's shoulders late, and he came through in a big way. He had 3 touchdowns, heck of a performance by him, a hell of a season. And for my money right here, right now, he's going to be a Super Bowl champion. Coaching matters, though, and the Eagles need to get it right on the OC.
Yeah, and so I think the coaching matters thing, like that could be kind of the theme of today. Like the 2 words to describe the way we feel coming out of yesterday, because it's my reason for optimism in that I think the bar is set incredibly low for where you're at in terms of offensive coordinator. Uh-oh.
We got breaking news.
We got breaking news.
It's a big fish, and he has landed with the Chargers.
Oh?
Mike McDaniel.
Oh, so official.
Chargers officially announced Mike McDaniel is joining the team as the new offensive coordinator. That is according to the L.A. Chargers. Just released a video.
Oof.
How about that?
Good for them. Good for Mike McDaniel. I hope you enjoy South Florida.
Timeout. What does that mean for the Raiders now?
Dable?
Could be.
Brady? I mean, the disaster there. Joe, excuse me.
Oh,
Brady.
I thought Tom Brady. I'm like,
Tom is going to be an owner,
Tom going to be the coach
and broadcaster.
Yes, he's not stepping down from the booth either.
Nope. He's going to take all those jobs.
Oh, by the way, he'll be, I believe he's a coach in Saudi Arabia for the flag football.
Oh, is he?
Oh, he's doing it all. Yeah. This is Tom Brady's world we're living in.
They're going to rename it the BFL, the Brady Football League.
That's it.
That's what we're trending towards here.
You see the watch he was wearing yesterday?
I did not.
$630,000 watch.
Good.
Life is good, baby.
Yeah, life is good. Life is good for him. Not envious at all in that. 600. What?
Yeah. Say it.
What is the purpose?
You're Tom Bleeping Brady. You don't need a purpose.
You don't need to flex on me anymore, man.
He said big game, big watch.
You've won 7 Super Bowls. We were talking about you and Alex Earl 3 weeks ago. Like, you're on every single commercial. You're on every single broadcast when I turn on my television. I don't need you to flex on me with a $690,000 watch.
It's his world,
Leave me alone, man.
$630,000.
Leave me alone, Tom Brady. Tormented me enough.
I didn't think it was that nice of a watch, to be honest with you.
I didn't. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. He's wearing a watch. But cool, man.
One day I will hope to have a Rolex. I've been telling my wife for years now. What are those, like $5,000, $6,000? Like, I don't need a $5,000 watch, but I like the Rolex with the green. I like that.
Yeah, you don't need a $700,000 watch, but Brady's got one, so why not?
What's life like, Tom?
So what? Raiders pivot to
Dable.
Okay, so if they get Dable,
now what for the Eagles?
Is it Joe Brady?
It's got to be Brady.
But Brady gets the.
Brady's going to have an option. Brady's going to have a couple options.
Right, because then Tennessee opens back up.
Tennessee opens up.
Wise.
Ravens
offensive coordinator job still up.
And the defensive coordinator took that position, Minter, right? So Minter's he's DC.
Or you get all control. Hire your own staff, all autonomy of the offense.
How are you feeling Joe Brady ends up with the Philadelphia Eagles? Give me a percentage. Where are you at?
30%.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah. It just keeps going back to the same thing. I just don't feel encouraged right now.
We needed McDaniel to take the Raiders gig.
Yeah. Yeah, because then the Dable Brady thing becomes, all right, there's just more chairs that are pulled away from them. They have to sit at the Eagles' chair. Like it or not, you're sitting here.
Musical chairs is a fun game.
It is.
Fun game.
Fun game. Very fun.
I like when they roll that out at the games. Halftime, you know.
Good halftime. All right. Quick, coming up here. We got 76ers. We're going to talk with Mark Zumoff coming up at 12:40. Before that, Sixers at 3 o'clock today. I have to ask the question, should we ban Sixers talk from this show? It's a fair question to be asked.
What?
For those that haven't been paying attention, we'll explain it coming up next. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. This Middays Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Super Bowl is set. I'm Brandon Dutz, and this report is sponsored by Orderly Meds, affordable GLP-1s. Struggling with weight loss? Orderly Meds proven GLP-1 semaglutide programs starting as low as $74 a month. Start now at loseweightnow.co. Eligibility required. Visit loseweightnow.co. The championship games took place yesterday and started with the AFC, where Drake May and the New England Patriots beat the Denver Broncos in what turned out to be a blizzard in the second half. And in the NFC, the Seahawks took down the Los Angeles Rams in a shootout. In 2 weeks, the Seahawks and Patriots will clash in Santa Clara in the Super Bowl 49 rematch. The Eagles are still searching for an offensive coordinator, and James Palmer discussed why some coaches might feel taking the job could hold them back.
I think when these guys are looking at the situation and the quarterback situation, they are going, can I run exactly what I want to run? I just think there is an aspect of the offense, and it's still Nick's offense, and you're coming in, with an offensive-minded head coach, per se, into that situation to where there's some things that might hold you back from doing the stuff that you want to do.
The Sixers begin the first game of a back-to-back today against the Charlotte Hornets, with game time moved up to 3 o'clock due to weather conditions. This report is also sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Oh, man.
Let's go!
Friday was a simpler time. It's
Get
still true.
excited!
It's still true. They're still contenders for these. The third quarter on Saturday definitely didn't help us in that regard.
Stepped on the rake and poof.
Yep, right to the face. But at halftime, we were texting.
Yep.
I texted you. I was Charlie Brown about 2 steps from the football. I think I'm as close to the football as I can get at this point. Just waiting to see whether or not Lucy's going to pull it away from me.
Joel was on fire.
Yeah, he looked awesome.
He was filling it up from all over. 38 he finished with.
Yeah, he's been fun.
Did I get a little overexcited?
No.
Extend myself just a little bit. I think one of the Sports Talk Radio cliche themes that people tell us out there, you're over your skis.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Nope.
All right, well, here's a couple things real fast, if I may.
Of course.
One is, something is good when you get it from both sides.
Yeah.
So we put that video out on Friday, which, oh, by the way, after the Houston Rockets victory, I promise you, I felt that in my loins.
In your loins?
Down in my plums. I felt it that, look, they just beat the Rockets. There are so many reasons why I can go ahead and put my right foot forward and believing that the Sixers are a contender without, revisiting all of them. They played a great game, box score, assists, and went toe-to-toe with the number 1 rebounding team in the Houston Rockets. All that to the side. Yep. We're talking about a half a season to deal with. Like, that's enough of a sample size for me to put it out there that they can compete in the East.
Correct.
Name the teams. Now, the Cavs have the advantage on them.
They've had their number.
They lost to them in a game they should have won.
Not a fun matchup.
Yep, exactly. I will say that. The Celtics won't. I don't know what the future is with Tatum, but I still think the Sixers can compete. The Knicks, they took the first 2 games against the Knicks, and great games. They lost the game on Saturday. Oh, well. But if you're going to roll out there, everybody healthy, and that was the big caveat, as it always is, this team can run with anybody in the East. Anybody. The Detroit Pistons, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm believing they're a contender in the East, where I've been before. I'm right there with you. You got the people that were way too positive. They're like, I can't believe you just got here. And it's like, all right, I
got that.
Embiid looks like he's fluid and moving around again. And to me, that's who this entirely hinges.
I'm like, did we not watch the season last year? You're telling me I needed to be up, ready to go in week 1 for this year based off of what last year happened? But also, with that being said, Ray,
right,
the disaster that was last year kind of makes me and pushes me forward into believing this team is a contender because the urgency is there. And you hear it from guys like Tyrese Maxey, which it revolves around. I know it's all about Joel Embiid, but Tyrese knows, and he said that last year cannot and will not ever happen again.
He's the leader for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When it comes to leadership on this team, it's Max.
Well, and you know what else it needs to come to Maxey? Clutch time.
Yeah, which has not been a kind of them. That's one thing for them this season. They've let too many games slip out of their hands.
They got to figure it out.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to sit here and say that as Joel Embiid is having an unbelievable game. He finishes with 38. But it feels like in those final 2 minutes, it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't have the answer.
They go into a lot of two-man game. And that two-man game, if Maxey's not hitting shots late in games, which he hasn't this year, and Embiid is trying his old, like, they're going to come and double me. I'm going to try and draw the foul here and create something out of nothing. It's like, no, you need to have more than that. And you need more from your coach in that scenario.
Very true.
So there's plenty when you go down the list of blame to go. But to the point of this segment, not getting too deep into the basketball, just a question I want to get the people's feelings at 610-632-0975. You can call or text on this one. YouTube chat will take all thoughts into consideration here. Should we ban Sixers talk on this show? Strictly because every time it feels like we get back in on the team, they lose a game. Now, I can't tell you what's going to happen today at 3 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
That's right.
We got a short version unfiltered leading up to that game. So please be tapped in. But if they go down to Charlotte, they have no Embiid, no George, and they lose to the Hornets. They're 2 games following us being all the way back in as a show. Is it time that we really reevaluate whether or not we're allowed to talk hoops here?
Well, it's hoop season.
It is hoop season.
So,
it puts us in a real precarious situation if we can't talk Sixers.
We're talking Sixers.
I don't know, though. Every time we get positive about them on this show, it becomes bad.
They're going to lose games. That's why I was laughing. I'm like, did I really think that they weren't going to ever lose a game? And I knew the comments were coming.
That it just kills us.
Man, that was a winnable game, even as ugly as it was.
Late
30-13, outscored in the third. Defensively, Nick Nurse again. What are we doing? Like, what's going on? Can we put somebody on Jalen Brunson? I think that would be pretty smart. Now, again, we don't know what was being said and who missed their assignments. But, and, you know, I hate to be that guy, but officiating, that's back-to-back games. What's going on here? You know, when a guy automatically follows you,
that's a foul.
It's a foul.
That's how that works.
Yeah. And
the pool report afterwards had me livid.
And like, I don't care about the one with Embiid at the end, and he's crying too much, and that irked me, but I get it. It's Joel Embiid, and he got fouled.
Yeah.
It's a foul.
It's an intentional foul. They're intending to foul you.
Tyrese Maxey at the three-point line was an intentional foul.
Correct.
And Maxey felt it, and he fired it up, as everybody does in that situation. Again, Ray, I just don't understand why we can't review these things when we review everything.
Right. Or after the game where the pool report goes and it's just, we didn't observe that in the game. All right, that's clearly you telling me that you missed the foul entirely. That makes me even more upset.
Sixers didn't deserve to win that game, but it's like, what are we doing? Let them finish. Like, he fouled him on purpose. Hey, it's very easy to see that if you're an official, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
House.
You know what we're going to do?
Yeah.
Coming up, 5 minutes time.
Let's go.
We're talking to Mark Zumoff. 25th anniversary of the 2000-2001 team that went to the NBA Finals.
I didn't miss a game, Ray, in Scranton. Me and my boys would get together and we're like, we got to watch the Sixers. Didn't miss a game in Scranton, PA. This is like the first time that this has ever happened to me in my life where all my friends and I were like, we have to watch these games.
Captivated by every second.
Prism, I believe, up in Scranton. We got it up.
All right.
How about that?
Mark Zumoff will join us coming up in the next segment to talk about that 25th anniversary, what he's looking forward to. Saturday's game for the 76ers. They're celebrating the 0-1 team. We'll talk to Mark coming up next. My former professor, Mark Zumoff, as well. I look forward to catching up with him. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Donald. Middays with Marks here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Welcome back in Middays with Marks here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn in for Johnny Marks. Brandon Dutz produced the program. We'll be joined in a couple minutes here by Mark Zumoff. Talk a little bit about that 0-1 76ers team that they're honoring on Saturday down there at Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Just a throwback, Ray. Straight up throwback for me.
25 years.
I'm 44, so I get it. Like last night, I was watching the Milwaukee Bucks and Sixers from I don't know. I didn't think I saw Moses on the team, so I think it was like 1980, 81. You should have saw the camera angle behind the basket. Just cracking up at it. But we have these teams that obviously we grow up with, and we always go back to. 93 Phillies are a huge one for everybody. 0-1 Sixers for me, top of the list. I don't think it will ever be topped.
There's so many people that say, and obviously everyone that knows my age knows that, I'm not sitting here that was my top team because of just I was here, but I was not at all with it to know what was going on. And there's so many people that will say that was the most fun they had as a sports fan, watching that team and the way they captivated the city that year and just kept finding ways, ended up getting themselves into an NBA Finals. And for the organization, I mean, it's the high point of the post Dr. J, Moses Malone era. That's it. That's since, Charles' rookie year, I believe. That's the only time you've been to an Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, things changed for me when AI was drafted, of course, and I was a Jordan guy, but then I was able to start getting some friends that were Sixers fans, and then I started filtering over their house, and instead of watching the NBC game, which would be on Saturday night or whatever it was, featuring Jordan versus whatever team, that was my first team. Okay, I'm an AI fan, loved him at Georgetown for that 1 year, and just he was a highlight reel. You remember from year one where he did the shimmy and obviously shook Jordan at the foul line. The baton for me personally was handed from Jordan to AI, and of course it was at the height in 0-1. Incredible run. What a season it was.
Yeah, what an awesome season. We're going to talk with Mark Zumoff about it in a couple of minutes here as just looking at what they're going to have for you on Saturday, given this game on Saturday. Obviously, they'll be in the throwback uniforms. You got Iverson, Aaron McKee, Eric Snow, George Lynch, Jermaine Jones, Kevin Ali, Speedy Claxton, Theo Ratliff.
Hell yeah.
You got a whole crew going to be down there. Hip-hop's going to be back, which I know is a big thing for everyone at the beginning of the season.
I saw you whistled the other day, and I was cracking up because I forgot about that. That's how he communicates. Normally, mascots don't make any noise.
Don't make any noise. But
that's what happened. I wasn't a hip-hop guy, but you know what? The nostalgia's there, and it's fun to look back.
The nostalgia's there, yeah. And it's going to be great this weekend to celebrate it and to celebrate with us and talk a little bit about that 0-1 team. Is the one and only. Spent 27 years as the television voice of your 76ers. Mark Zumoff joins us. Mark, how are you?
Always a pleasure, Ray, to be on with you guys. And, we could talk about Temple, too. It's a great school. Well, I know the mandate here, 2001. We'll stick with that. But you and I can always talk about the Owls and Temple and pitch North Broad Street to the future sports media professionals out there.
Well, for those that don't know, you are at Klein College right now running the associate director of the Claire Smith Center for Sports Media. And that also makes you a former professor of mine because I was in your first play-by-play class you did at Temple.
Crazy, right? You survived me, and somehow you were a success.
But we'll jump into the 0-1 conversation. I want to start for you from that season. What stuck out early on? When did you know that it was going to be a special season for that group?
They started the year 10-0, and they were the talk of the NBA. And I remember during that 10-game win streak to start the season, it might have been like game 7 or 8. We were on the air, and I turned to Steve Mix, and I said, this team is an amazing defensive team. And think about the way they were built. I mean, it was Allen Iverson and ... With all respect to Tyrone Hill and George Lynch and Eric Snow, these were not guys who were necessarily being counted on to score. And so the ball was in Allen's hands, but on the defensive end, they were unbelievable. And think about when they did it. They did it in an era where you could be more physical. and the games were sludge-like. I mean, think about today, 115, 120 points is no big deal. I think the league at that time was averaging in the mid-90s. And so Larry Brown, Billy King, they put a team together that was physical. Guys who didn't necessarily need the ball, guys who were willing to put their bodies on the line and play defense. They had Theo Ratliff in the middle, who was a great shot blocker. And that's the thing that really gets me excited, period, about any basketball team. When I look at them, I say, all right, defense and rebounding, how good are you at that? And they were really good at both.
Zoom, I want to talk about Larry Brown. Of course, we know how great of a coach he was and is still to this day, but give us a story from Larry Brown and his importance to that team and making them believe, and, of course, the X's and O's that he brought. But he was more than that, and we know that the trials and tribulations that he had with AI night in, night out. But I guess Larry Brown's importance, of course, if you can recall that from that season.
Larry Brown was one of those guys who I think could have been great at whatever profession he chose. For some reason, and I could be corrected on this, I think at one point he had thought about going to medical school, and I have no doubt that he would have been a success in that area. But he was a genius. And listen, geniuses have their quirks. And so, for example, we would sit there at a practice and players were scrimmaging, and they would barely go a play or two, and then the whistle would sound. And then he'd be out there, repositioning a guy on a pick and roll, or, telling a guy he needs to be here on the floor at a particular play. And did the same thing on the defensive end where guys weren't necessarily rotating or covering. Constant whistles all the time, and lectures, and players were like, oh, another whistle, that kind of thing. Almost every time he would have a news conference, we're talking about 82 games. And a lot of times coaches are full of cliches and platitudes and what have you. There seemed to be, after every game, when I would listen to him, an aha moment, something that he would say that would teach me about the game, or something I had never thought of before. And he and Billy King were certainly very instrumental in recognizing that Allen Iverson had the ball and had to have the ball. And he had to put up his 20, 25, 30 shots a game. Sometimes he'd be in the 40s. And that's the way they needed to construct the team. And so, once they had gone through the 98-99 season and the 2000 season, where they, had their times where they did not get past the second round of the playoffs, he was able to tweak things in such a way that they finally got to the finals. So, and he was coach of the year then. He deserved to be coach of the year. And I'm flashing back to the All-Star game. I think it was in Washington.
Oh, man.
Iverson was the MVP, right? And he's standing there and he's on national TV and as he's getting ready to be interviewed, where's my coach? Where's my coach? So, even Allen, with all the controversy and the arguing and the fighting and the push and pull with Larry Brown, realized that, this guy, and let me just say one more thing. I don't mean to be long-winded, but I always believed that Larry Brown felt as though he sort of carried the golden chalice, so to speak, of basketball, that he was part of a lineage that was unmistakably the best, because he learned the game from the late Dean Smith. Dean Smith learned the game from Fog Allen, and Fog Allen learned the game from James Naismith, the guy who invented the game. So, that's my take on Larry Brown.
Goosebumps, Ray. Goosebumps. Reliving that moment of where my coach at? Where my coach at? What a season it was.
Let's go to Allen Iverson. And for you, being a part of just seeing him go city to city and seeing this team go city to city during that season and during that run, what was it like to be in the presence of Iverson and watch everyone as they watched the Allen Iverson experience happen?
Imagine you're on the road with the Beatles. Imagine you are on the road. I mean, sometimes it's no exact. The president. There was always a crowd. There were always people around. There was always bright lights and buses and charter jets, and coming out of the hotel with a phalanx of security people to make sure he wasn't bothered. At the arena, just tons of people in the stands, no matter what arena we were in, with Iverson jerseys and, looking for an autograph or just wanting to see him play. And then the way he played was, I think, unique. Listen, he got a lot of steals, and I think he buckled down on defense when he had to, certainly in the crunch time. But offensively, at least, never took a possession off. Wanted the ball, and his constant drives in the lane. I mean, when you think about it, he's just built like a regular guy. And I think this is what really caused him to be enamored by Sixers fans, is that he played the game like a football player. If you've ever seen any of the footage of him in his high school days, he was a remarkable football player. He could heave the ball 60, 70 yards, and all they did was just get the ball in his hands, and he was rough, and he was tough, and he was physical, and he was 165 pounds. And these were the days where a much more physical play was allowed, as I alluded to earlier, and he didn't care. And so, yeah, he might have shot 5 for 27 in a game, but the fact that he got to the rim so much, even the misses, you had guys like George Lynch and Tyrone Hill to clean it up. In fact, that's where garbage into gold came from, because there were always so many offensive rebounds available. Because, yeah, he may have missed at the rim, but the defense was so attracted to him that offensive rebounds were available aplenty. And then, getting knocked down and lifting himself up. I remember a specific incident. I think it was that year we were in Atlanta, and the night before he got crushed on a pick. We were playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I forget if he had to sit out the rest of the game, but he had a shoulder injury. And he was trying it out pregame, and he and Maurice Cheeks were talking, and I was standing within earshot, and Maurice saying, I don't think you should play. You just don't look like you're in shape to play, or that your body's right. And Iverson says, I have to play. And, there's always a part of me that thought that Allen had to play, if you know anything about his background and the upbringing he had, and, how poor he was, and everything that led up to this. I always believed that Allen needed to play because it was almost a relief for him, that the hangers on and the bright lights, that's a lot of times he didn't like. And of course, having to escape from the way he grew up, that playing basketball was something that I would say was soothing for him, or just allowed him mentally to be in the right place. And so, injured or not, he was going to play. And I think that was one of the more remarkable things about him.
The great Mark Zumoff on with us here, Middays with Mark, Ray Dunn, Sean Brace. Mark, let's get to the NBA Finals, June 6th. Sixers do the unthinkable and beat the LA Lakers. They were undefeated in that playoff run. Of course, remember the step over, 107-101. Following that game, of course, game 2 was played out in LA, so you didn't hop on a flight, but can you take us behind the scenes after taking game 1 and the belief in this organization and how everybody had to believe, like, hey, man, we just accomplished, we took home court advantage from them. Anything is possible from this point on. What was the belief for this team after taking game 1?
Oh, well, first of all, even then, we had done some of the finals games up to the Eastern Conference Finals, but even then, we were shut out as the local TV. And
right.
So I think I had a seat that was like in Pasadena. That's how far away I was from the court. But first of all, Iverson was, he was remarkable, just in the sense that he got up, I think, he got up almost half the team shots in that game. It was an overtime game. And, when he stepped over Tyronn Lue, I think I was in the upper deck, but I was like right opposite that. And right then and there, I realized how iconic of a moment it was. You had Eric Snow, who wasn't necessarily a good shooter. In fact, I don't even think Eric Snow started that game, because I think by then he had a broken foot. He ended up playing like 30 minutes, but making a big shot, I want to say in crunch time or overtime. And then somehow, because George Lynch was hurt and Snow was limited, I think Raja Bell was a rookie at that time, and somehow Larry Brown got quality minutes out of him, and I think he got a couple of buckets in the game as well. And then just being in the locker room afterwards and feeling the energy and thinking, oh my God, we're going to win the title. This is crazy. We've taken the home court advantage. and we beat the Lakers. It was their first loss in the playoffs. And yeah, they had chances certainly in that second game and the other games as well. But I'm just sort of like feeling that one moment post game after game one, thinking, wow, this is really cool. This Cinderella story is actually going to happen. Of course, it didn't. But I will say this about not winning the title. It was the perfect Rocky ending, if you will. Yeah, it was disappointing. They didn't win it, but listen, Rocky didn't win it in his first movie, and this team didn't win it in its first opportunity. Unfortunately, they didn't have a chance to get back. So now the sequel is left to, the 25-26 76ers, and hopefully they can get us excited down the road.
Real quick, because we're up against it here, Mark. How are you feeling about the 25-26 Sixers?
The parts are there. First of all, the VJ Edgecombe is just, they say rookie wall and all that stuff, but I don't really care about that at this point. He's going to be a really good player. And the fact that he has done so much for them in crunch time, and he's a really good player on both ends of the floor, has me excited. It's Tyrese Maxey's team, I think. And Maxey is the perfect leader. He's vocal. He steps up. He's, willing to take the kind of responsibility that leaders have to take. And then, of course, Joel Embiid is always about his health. Paul George to some extent as well, but clearly Joel. And there's not much you could do about his health other than what the Sixers are doing, which is managing his minutes, which, quite frankly, I think is smart. It's a little bit frustrating for fans. You want to, come out and see Joel, but sometimes he just shouldn't be playing for whatever reason. So I think the regular season is the time for them to think about how they're going to get it together and manage the minutes, hopefully make some noise in the playoffs. I mean, the pieces are there. It's just a question of health and can they put it together.
Mark, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We're going to look forward to seeing you a part of all the festivities coming up on Saturday as they celebrate the 25th anniversary of the 2001 team.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You're the best, Zoom.
Mark Zoomoff joining us. Looking forward to emceeing the event. Just think about his voice rocking Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Yeah, he's pretty good at the craft.
Great. Yeah. Pretty great. Yeah. All right, coming up, we got Braces Plays at 1 o'clock. The best that you saw from the championship weekend. Also, Eagles coaching news.
More?
Not the one you're looking for, but they do have some news that's out there. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The search goes on. I'm Brandon Dutz, and this report is sponsored by Uber Eats. Philly, you hungry? Good thing Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Chickies and Pete's. From now until February 15th, spend $30 and get 6 wings free on the app. Order now only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. See the app for details. The Philadelphia Eagles are still searching for their next offensive coordinator. Yesterday, Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network talked about 3 names who are still in the mix for the position.
The offensive coordinator search still goes on, and they have some veteran options that they have interviewed already that remain in the mix. Jim Bob Cooter, Brian Dable, Matt Nagy.
After falling to the New York Knicks in a close one on Saturday, the Philadelphia 76ers are in Charlotte to take on the Hornets. Tip-off has been moved up to 3 o'clock, and you can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. The Flyers will look to make it 2 in a row tonight against the New York Islanders after blowing out the Colorado Avalanche on Friday. Puck drop is set for 7 o'clock, and you can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. And the matchup for the Super Bowl is officially set. Drake May and the Patriots will go against Sam Darnold and the Seahawks down in Santa Clara a week from Sunday. This report is also sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at Mad Call, the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP, or visit mad.org. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Great to talk with Mark Zumoff there.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Great to hear his voice. Always great to talk with him, but just to hear Mark.
Wish I heard it more these days.
He is going to be emceeing Saturday night.
Remember, these guys are a part of our lives, right?
27 years of television voice.
Like, your pets know the voice.
Yeah.
Your kids at the dinner table. You know, you're watching, you got the dinner, the TV on the background. Like, Mark Zumoff is a part of the family.
He was the television voice longer than I've been on this earth.
There you go.
Yeah. He's been part of your life for a long time.
The great Zoom. And then revisiting, you know, it's just fandom is a different thing. As you get older, it changes. Hey, man, if you're still the guy that's, you know, strapping on the jersey. I wear jerseys. Don't take offense to this. If you're still the guy that goes down to every game and, you know, loads up the tail, you know, like, I love you. God bless you. I wish I could. I can't. So fandom changes over the years. But that is a team that I was dialed into, and you're younger, so things hit a little bit differently. And AI was new and fresh to the league and rubbing people the wrong way. And I was like, yeah, that's my guy. And, oh, by the way, you know, look, there's so many different things I wanted to ask him. It's like, did you think that Vince Carter shot was going in? What was your thought about the big dog matchup, you know? And the fact that in Game 3, if I'm not mistaken, at home, like the Sixers had a lead in the fourth quarter. They
battled with one of the dynasties.
One of the great teams in NBA history.
Yeah.
Shaq and Kobe. Dikembe was barbecue chicken, as Shaq would say. Like, he was the defensive player of the year, but he was no match.
Yeah.
Nobody was their match.
Yeah, who's going to stop? That's why he makes the deal. Who's going to stop Shaq?
Shaq was the most dominant player still to this day I've ever seen with any sport. Nobody dominates like Shaquille O'Neal. Nobody to this day. Most dominant player. Nobody can stop him.
Nobody could. That was the whole trade deadline thing. Who are you going to get that could stop him? Because that's where you felt. If you got yourself to the finals, how are you going to stop Shaq?
And they did.
They got to the finals.
And they won a game.
Didn't stop Shaq.
Man, I'll never forget they won that game. I forgot that they don't call the NBA finals.
So he was sitting in Pasadena. That was a great line by him.
It was.
They got me a seat in Pasadena.
At least he was there.
Right.
I would have felt like, oh, man, he didn't make the trip out there. Because, you know, look, these guys are a part of our family. They are a part of the team as well.
Yeah, I think with as long as he was involved with the organization, if there was somebody making that trek, he better make that trek.
That's right.
Better be on that trip out there. All right. Sean Brace.
Yeah.
It's time to relive what we watched yesterday with Brace's Plays.
Darn right. Brace's Plays. Let's do it. Dots, other side of the glass. Hit me. All right. Brace's Plays from Championship Sunday. We start in Denver for the AFC Championship game. A pitcher, perfect weather for 3 quarters and especially early, as Jarrett Stidham, steady Stid, and the Broncos opened the game on the second drive with a statement that had the home crowd and maybe for a lot of people around the country watching the game that they might actually have something here.
Stidham faces 4-man pressure. Protection is good. Jarrett loads it up. Home run ball deep down the field. Passes there. Caught inside the 20. Inside the 15, the 10. That is Marvin Mims. He beat Christian Gonzalez. 52 yards. Stidham to Mims.
It was a thing of beauty, and he spun that ball. And, of course, later in the drive, they would score a touchdown. The touchdown was to Sutton, and that was a beautiful pass in the quarter of the end zone as well. So here we are, Broncos with an early 7-0 lead. Fast forward to the second quarter, Ray, and this is the play that everyone is claiming was the end of the game and a bad decision by Sean Payton. Broncos still up by 7. Payton with a tough decision on 4th and 1 from the Patriots 14. Should he have kicked the field goal? Well, he decided against it.
And pulls away. He rolls to his right. He's pressured. He throws it to the inside. Intercepted by Woodson. No, it's incomplete. They're going to say short-hopped it, but it doesn't matter.
You take the points.
Play call. Sean Payton rolls the dice, and the Patriots pressured Stidham into an incompletion. New England takes over.
That's a mistake.
Yeah, I kind of ride with him a little bit. It's the second quarter, so I don't have too much of an issue. We're going to talk about another 4th down decision in the next game. But, Ray, for my money, I didn't really have that much of an issue of him going for it.
That's a mistake. I agree with the color commentary.
Stone cold mistake.
Stone cold mistake. It's the backup quarterback. This is my general rule on this one. I understand analytics. You could throw whatever number you want at me, and most of the time I am pro. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Put points up on the board. Here is what you have. You are up 7-0 with a backup quarterback. I never feel like I'm guaranteed to continue moving the football with said backup quarterback. If there is a chance to put 3 points up on the board with Jared Stidham as my quarterback, with all due respect, Dutsy, I want to go up 10-0 with him and then let that defense just see how much they could do for me throughout the game. Now, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know what the weather conditions were going to be. So it's Monday morning quarterbacking for me to say, hey, if you knew that it was going to get dicey at the end of the game, maybe they didn't know it was going to get dicey. I'm not a weather guy in Philadelphia. Certainly not a weather guy in Denver. But if you knew that it was going to get more dicey, I don't know how you don't just try and put yourself up 10 so that you have that protection if the fourth quarter was going to be the mess that it was going to be. But even so, general rule of thumb for me, backup quarterback in the game, kick the field goal.
Do you think they win the game if they do?
Probably not.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think they had enough juice in that
People
one.
holding on to that one, I just don't think that they're going to win that game.
They made a mistake. Did it cost them? No.
And Sean Payton said today, I believe today, if not yesterday, that if he could go back and over, he'd probably put the points on the board.
Right. I believe it.
All right. Second quarter, not that big of a deal for my money. However, we will talk about another situation in the next game. And this was by far the best game of the day. To Seattle we go for the NFC Championship game, and what a banger it was. Sam Darnold with a masterful performance, 25, 36, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And in the third quarter, while up 24-21 over the L.A. Rams, they go on a drive, and it pays off as he hooks up with Cooper Kupp, the former Ram.
Out of the shotgun, here comes the 4-man Rams rush. Sam steps up, goes back inside. Kupp makes the catch. Touchdown! Seahawks! The former Ram Super Bowl MVP. Now the Seahawks, and he has another big catch. 13 yards and a touchdown. This is a guy who's used to making big plays at the biggest moments. And there's none bigger than tonight. The NFC Championship. Seahawks now lead again by 10.
Still plenty of time on the clock, but yes, that did extend the lead 31-20. That's still in the third quarter. All 3 timeouts for the LA Rams. And man, what a turn of events in the next drive. Holden, who was the defensive back. I could not believe that I saw this. Who was the defensive back, if you remember, when the Daniels for the Commanders threw the Hail Mary against the Chicago Bears? He was the defensive back in the corner of the end zone, taunting the Commanders fans.
Yep, immediately regretted that one.
Correct. And here he is in the next drive after a 31-20 lead, as you just heard with Cooper Kupp, gets called for a 15-yard taunting penalty on 4th down. A dead ball foul. Immediate play. Next thing you know, Puka Nacua, of course, makes them pay for it. They get a touchdown. It's now 31-26. All right. Seahawks get the ball back. They end up punting. They're up 31-27 at this point in time. Rams, late in the fourth quarter, go on a drive, 14 plays, 84 yards. It takes up 7 minutes and 24 seconds. But it all pays off to nothing because on 4th down, they get stopped.
Here we go. This might be it right here. 4th down and 4 for the Rams. Puka Nacua slots on the right side. Stafford, shotgun snap, pump fake. Has time, looks, fires to the end zone. Almost intercepted by Witherspoon. He jumps in front of the intended receiver, Ferguson. Almost came up with a pick, but it doesn't matter because the Seahawks take over on 4th down.
And they ended up picking up 2 first downs clutch to continue to run the clock. Rams did get the ball back, and they had it for 25 total seconds. You can bring that music down, Dutz. Nice work there. Final score, Seahawks end up winning 31-27. Now, Ray, this is the one that's the more intriguing decision for my money. And I'm curious to know where you stand on this because at that moment in time, and Monday morning quarterback, I'm saying the same thing. I kicked the field goal. I kicked the field goal for multiple reasons, but I guess the one thing would be for me is this. When you have the ball for 14 plays, 7 minutes and 30 seconds, you have to have something to show for. You have to. And, oh, by the way, it now is a game that you can win on a field goal. that part just seems like pretty simple standard stuff. But I know, and I would imagine you're going to fall into this as a young whippersnapper. The analytics, you got to go for it. You get the ball. They had all 3 timeouts, 3 ticks under 5 minutes. I think it was 4:57. Kicked the field goal. It's now 31-30. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. And like I said, you ended up stopping him. You ended up getting the ball back. I just feel like that was a bad decision, one that I didn't agree with at that point in time, and I'm saying the same thing right now. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Is that how we all sound? The analytics go,
the young whippersnapper. Let me tell you, the 4th down bot on Instagram told me I need to go for it.
Like, our ESPN analytics say go.
Should he have kicked the field goal? Or,
so in that moment, and Sean Rodman can attest to this.
Okay.
He could be my witness. We were sitting down there at the hotel bar, and I said, you might consider a field goal here.
Oh, look at you. Okay.
However, I can see the logic here in them going for it. Just because with the way that, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, this is more of a feel of the game where I was like,
that's fine.
Seahawks been able to run the ball a little bit. They actually had it. When you go back and look at the numbers, they only got 62 rushing yards out of Kenneth Walker in that game.
It feels like he was running all over
It's because of the last drive. They ran it in the last drive where they were able to get enough to get themselves. I just think at that point, maybe I'm concerned. I haven't gotten a stop. I'd rather take the lead here, and if I lose 31-30, am I going to be able to live with myself in the offseason if we never get the ball back? Is there a chance we don't get the football back in this sense?
At 4:57, 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning as well.
Most recent drives for the Seahawks, 4:48, 4:49. Back-to-back. One was a punt. The other one was a touchdown. And the first drive of this half would be where you kind of hang your hat. But the last 2 drives, they have been able to make something happen.
No confidence at all in your defense. I thought and I know the Rams have been playing extremely poor defense, especially since Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But they have playmakers over there. What the hell happened to that defense?
I have no idea. No idea on that one. But I think that's where my logic would be, why you go for it, why ultimately you be overruled. I would probably be the guy in the headset hey, considering the 3 points here, and then the numbers guy would be like, and I don't think I'd have enough in my head to be like, all right, let's just overturn that. I've got Stafford, I've got Nakua, I've got, look at all the options I've got out there on the field right here. Can we get it here on 4th down? Can we make it happen? It wasn't the absurd decision of there's a guarantee that I should have kicked that field goal. I should have made something happen here. I see where you're coming from, though, because I had the thought as well. Is this just a bona fide field goal attempt or a go-for-it attempt here?
I'm a big guy. You have to have something to show for it, especially a 14-play drive, 7.5 minutes. It's an NFC Championship game. Get the field goal. It's 31-30. It changes everything. It changes your approach. It changes the temperature in the game. Sam Darnold. Would he turn into a pumpkin? No, he didn't. He made some throws, and I give all the credit in the world to him. But I don't know. It would have been interesting to make that a 31-30 ball game. And as like I said, the biggest issue for me is now a field goal wins. So maybe Puka does get that grab at midfield. He gets out of bounds. One more completion. You get an opportunity. Who knows? There's a lot of ifs.
That was crazy.
What a throw. What a catch.
Yeah.
Puka's an animal.
Just I can imagine being the Rams fan, because even in that moment as someone that doesn't care, for either of the 2 sides, as they go to wind the arm there and I see them winding the clock, I'm like, oh, that's the game.
Yep.
I wanted one more. You complete that pass. Technically, he ends up out of bounds. I wanted to see something go to completion there.
Yeah.
I want to
give me a Hail Mary.
Me one more opportunity.
How about no points in that 4th quarter? Scoreless.
After that 3rd quarter.
And it went way over the total.
Yep.
It's just crazy. Now we got ourselves a Super Bowl. February 8th, Ray Dunn. The Seahawks, 4.5-point favorites. It got up to as high as 5 last night. 46.5 is our total right now, currently, depending where you shop. Your immediate vibe when I bring up the spread, sir?
Seahawks, what was it, 4? You said 4?
4.5.
4.5? Yeah, I'd like that. I'd like the 4.5.
You're giving 4.5 and going with Seattle?
Yeah.
I don't see Seattle losing the game. I do think Vrabel is going to have something. That secondary is really good. And it's funny you brought up Kenneth Walker, man. He only rushed for 60-plus yards.
Yeah, I'm blown away because we had that conversation before the show, and I was like, yeah, man, he was a beast.
They're going to stop. They're going to stop that run game, and they're going to make Darnold beat him. I hate to talk myself into a Patriot victory here, but the people are thinking this is way too easy. Vrabel and that defense is going to have something for the Seahawks.
Oh, don't do it to me. I can't watch another one of those.
I wish I had the 5. I'd take +5 right now.
Yeah, Dutsy's getting my ear because we got some news on the Phillies front of things. That's not really Phillies news, but news that has to do with a former Philly. We got Harrison Bader, 2-year contract to the San Francisco Giants. So Harrison Bader officially off the board. I haven't seen it. Have you seen a number total yet, Dutsy?
Not yet.
Yeah, that's the one thing we would be interested in, of course, when that number comes.
Yeah, 2-year contract, though. I thought he was trying to get a 3-year deal. I thought that was the word on the street, was that he was trying to go for 3. So he gets 2.
Buster Posey out there.
Yeah.
Scores a pretty good clubhouse guy, decent outfielder, streaky player, deals with some injuries from time to time. I wanted Harrison Bader back. I said this on Friday. I'm a Jalen Hurts guy. I was a Harrison Bader guy. I was buying what he was selling. He had a great run, maybe his best stretch in the majors with the Phillies. And I thought, you know what, depth would be a great thing. But all in all, and I'm trying to pull up the San Francisco Giants depth chart. Is he starting out there?
Yeah, the question is, Jung-Hoo Lee as a center fielder, or are they moving him somewhere in the corner? You're going to end up having Harrison Bader.
I was actually just discussing Jung-Hoo Lee and where he was going to be playing this week, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I was talking about that on Saturday, yeah. So, yes, I don't know. Is he a starter out there? I think Harrison Bader could very well be a starter in the league, and I think that would be the first thing he wants to do is play.
Yeah.
Pay is great, understood, but I got to play. And if he's starting in San Francisco, I think it's
I don't know what exactly their outfield configuration is going to look like. Whether it be Ramos get an opportunity to be out there and left, Gilbert, the former top prospect. They had some options out there.
All right. Maybe the money was the reason.
Yeah. So and I just got an immediate text. I'm looking at a group chat with my friends. Maybe this is something you can answer for me, or we could answer on the text line, phone line 610-632-0975. If Harrison Bader gets 2 for 25, are you that much better off having given Adolis 1 for 10 as compared to have given Bader 2 for 25? Like, if we find out that Bader gets a contract that's 1 more year and the AAV is just slightly higher, I know we all want to buy into the Adolis bounce back, but would you have been better off with it? Well, wait. Here's a great tease for you. Mm-hmm. I'm sure a National Insider is going to provide us the contract details by the time we get back.
Yep.
Stay tuned for the Harrison Bader debate. And also, ESPN put out like the off-season primer for the Birds.
Okay.
Just a couple of things I want to run down because you mentioned it earlier today. Shrine Bowl's tomorrow. We're eventually going to get an offensive coordinator here.
Eventually.
I
believe. Or it's just going to be Sirianni across the board. And
Fangio's going to take over offensive as well. You know?
Great on that one.
Woo. Yep, this is the world we live in. We'll get to the offseason primer and what ESPN has at the top of the docket for the Birds. That, our YouTube chat recap coming up at the end of the show. We got plenty more in store for you. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Super Bowl is set. I'm Brandon Dust, and this update is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. They've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone. The championship games took place yesterday and started with the AFC, with Drake May and the New England Patriots beating the Broncos in what turned out to be a blizzard in the second half. And in the NFC, Sam Darnold led the Seahawks to a win over the Rams. And in 2 weeks, the Seahawks and Patriots will clash in the Santa Clara in a Super Bowl 49 rematch. The Philadelphia Eagles are still searching for an offensive coordinator, and James Palmer discussed why some coaches may feel like taking the job could hold them back.
I think when these guys are looking at the situation and the quarterback situation, they are going, can I run exactly what I want to run? I just think there is an aspect of the offense, and it's still Nick's offense, and you're coming in, with an offensive-minded head coach, per se, into that situation to where there's some things that might hold you back from doing the stuff that you want to do.
Sixers begin a first game of a back-to-back today against the Charlotte Hornets, with game time moved up to 3 o'clock due to weather conditions. Joel Embiid and Paul George have been ruled out, and you can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. Their support is also sponsored by Taco Bell. Crispy chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. They're anything but your usual nugs. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
Busy day here on the Fanatic.
Yeah.
Busy day.
Oh,
So
yeah.
After us, I guess I'm still sticking around. I got 45 minutes of producing in me today.
Get excited.
Yeah, hanging out with
Sixers Hornets.
Yeah, unfiltered before Sixers Hornets. And because the Sixers Hornets game was moved up, guess what?
What?
Flyers action tonight on the Fanatic, too.
Let's go.
Double feature tonight.
Right on.
Flyers, Islanders. That one down there at Xfinity Mobile Arena, the X.
Yeah, I just got offered. My buddy Joe Tanzi texted me. He's like, hey, man, I got Flyers tickets tonight, and they didn't plow around us. I don't know if I can get out. And he's like, all right, plow just came. We're going.
Oh, Sean Brace outside tonight.
No, no. Him and his family are
okay.
going. Yeah, no. Sean Brace is staying home tonight.
Inside.
Yeah, we got a big week in front of us. You know, got to hit the ground running. Started today. Everybody's Monday will be tomorrow. Hell, we were probably the morning show for a lot of people.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of people were like rolling out of bed today. If you had your Sunday go anything like the Sunday I thought I was going to have before I got the hotel room offer, I imagine there was a lot of slow moving today.
Yeah.
Those bars were open for a reason, and a lot of you, I think, probably hit them. Or you were at home, and today you were like, yeah, I'll just log on to the Zoom at the team's meeting at 9:30, at 10. Roll over, maybe get the mouse going there for a second. I know a lot of the work from home people that I'm friends with. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm a big Thursday night guy. Okay, so what do you do Friday when you're working? Well, I move the mouse.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you don't start work till noon, and because it's a Friday, everybody's probably closing up shop by 2. So you work 4 days a week.
Move the mouse Friday.
Yeah.
It's got a ring to it.
It is.
So you were at the hotel bar yesterday with the boys,
Yes.
right? What were you sipping on?
We had a number of different beers.
Okay.
We had a nice combination of Corona, Miller Lite, and Yinglings.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and then a couple of rum and cokes.
Are you a whiskey guy?
I could get down and drink some whiskey.
Well, this one popped out at me over the weekend real fast, if you would not may. There was a auction for this whiskey collection that has been put together for the last 130 plus years. And a bottle of Old Rip Van Winkle, which is a tasty, tasty bottle, or brand just in general. 20-year-old single barrel Sam's from 1982, Ray Dunn. 133 proof, perfect for a winter day while you're sitting at a hotel bar,
right,
or on at your house on the couch.
What's it going to cost me?
It's sold at the auction over the weekend. One bottle for $162,000. How about that, sports fans? Yeah, one of just 60 bottles produced. It's the highest proof of Van Winkle ever bottled. Pretty good, pretty tasty stuff there. $160,000. You know who could drink that? Tom Brady.
Yeah, I bet. Maybe they'll be sitting there next time they do a broadcast. Next year, Fox opens up somewhere cold. They just have that sitting on the table. These guys watch right next to it. Oh, my God.
Who are you sharing that with? Who are you calling? Who's the person on your phone? You'd be like, yo, I'm popping this bottle. Have a seat.
Probably my dad.
Yeah, the old man.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the one that I'd be like, hey, yeah, my dad, probably get my uncle, grandfather. Like, I'd just be like, everyone that in my life that I know that would enjoy this.
Yes.
But then again, if I start handing out too much of it, I paid $160,000. I'm gonna get
You got to save some for
glass.
Yeah, you got to in the holster.
$162,000.
Yeah, the total combined. This was like the best whiskey collection ever sold at an auction. People are putting it out there, and it's just crazy. Go ahead, I'll tweet it out at Sean_Brace. A pretty cool story from the weekend.
Mike Gill's upset with my beer choices. I just got a text. Yeah, he's an IPAsman. And we've bonded because there's not a lot of IPAsmen that are within these four walls.
I'm an IPAsman too as well.
Yeah,
I had Dogfish Grateful Dead over the weekend. That was my beer of choice.
It's a nice item.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm an IPA guy, but I'm ultra more than anything these days because it's just.
I love good ultra.
Yeah, you know what's gonna have. You drink 1, 2, 3.
I actually have an ultra 12-pack that I've left now at a friend's apartment. So whenever I go over there, I just have beers ready. Instead of just bringing beer every time, I was like, I'll just take a few. I'll have a couple every time I'm here.
The Grateful Dead, it's a juicy pale ale by Dogfish Head. It's tremendous. Obviously, I bought it because it's a Grateful Dead, but it is a very tasting IPA. Good stuff. 6.2, 5.3. Excuse me, 5.3.
Right,
pale ale.
Like that. Yeah. All right. Getting back to the Bader thing real quick here. We do not have contract details. These insiders are working slow today. I think they had a similar day to me yesterday in the snow. They're not getting us money figures at all in this one. Okay. So we got 2 years. Bader goes to the San Francisco Giants. And the question I just posed is, If we find out it was close in annual value to what they gave Adolis Garcia, is there any question that people would have about the fact that they did it? Now, you say, yeah, Garcia, the power upside certainly there. And Bader did have a career run with the Phillies in the second half of that season following the trade deadline. So maybe this is the right type of bet for the Phillies to make, a little bit cheaper, the one-year deal, see what Garcia has. I just think that there will be a considerable that outfield wasn't going to be good no matter how you sliced it. No matter what you did to that outfield this offseason, if they were going to spend the way they spent, they were not coming in with an outfield that was going to inspire people. I do find myself saying, though, if there was the Bader deal on the table versus the Garcia deal, I have a bona fide defensive center fielder and a guy that had a better year than Garcia last year. I want to buy the Garcia bounce back as much as anyone. But I see that Bader deal, and if these numbers come out similar to what Garcia got, I could see myself being annoyed.
Yeah. Again, I know that this doesn't really sit well for this topic conversation. We want somebody's at fault. Like, we don't know what was said behind the scenes. Bader could have very well made it clear that, hey, man, I got interest elsewhere. I appreciate it. I saw the writing on the wall. I know what it was. I know what the conversations are being had with my agent. I'm good. I don't need to go back to Philadelphia. So with that being said, I also would put out there that I'm excited about Garcia and the potential for bombs, Ray.
Yeah.
At Citizens Bank Park. If you're not hitting bombs, you're not winning much. Like, you have to hit home runs. And I get it. The timely hitting is the most important thing. But for my money, Garcia, is he a guy that's going to come in here and hit 39 bombs? I think that was his highest his career. No. But I do expect him to hit close to 30, 25, 30. He better hit that, or else this was kind of a bust of a signing, correct?
Yeah.
You're not signing him for his defense. You are signing him strictly because you expect him to hit bombs, especially at Citizens Bank Park. So I could see their thought process in this.
Oh, yeah, I see their thought process. I understand the thought process. I'm with you on that. Okay. I'm just waiting to see numbers here. I thought we'd have numbers and I have a reaction for you. Honestly, I'm disappointed. You know, Passan, Rosenthal, Heyman. Somebody get me some figures here.
But I am a Bader guy, and it's hard to make the case that, like, yeah, if apples are apples, right, then I prefer Bader. And this was a mistake.
But we don't know. If they go like 2 for 30, where they give him 15, an extra $5 million over next year when you have money coming off the books, maybe I could understand why you pass it. If it's 2 for 25, I'll be.
Bader hit 17 home runs last year.
And what? Adolis hit 19.
It's just so funny to look at that when you're like, all right, 19
yeah.
19 total.
You could see my brain trying to work the baseball reference to the back there. It wasn't.
There had to be more to the story with Harrison Bader. Everybody loved him. Is the health an issue? Maybe in their minds, it was a little bit more than they were willing to sign off on. But he's more versatile, obviously, than Garcia. What the one leg up where Garcia is the long ball, and that's it. But I was going to say, looking at Bader's numbers, 17 bombs last year, it's a pretty good season.
Uncertainty with whether or not they would be able to get Bader. Probably they were like, yeah, we'll give you a $10 million bet that Garcia is better. That's kind of where it goes to be. By the way, we teased Eagles coaching news earlier. I want to just pay that one off. Joe Casper, defensive pass game coordinator, defensive back coach.
Okay.
So they have replaced Christian Parker, who went to the Cowboys to be the defensive coordinator. So that happened. We have not gotten any more offensive coordinator news.
Man, these guys bounce around. He was with the Dolphins 1 year, serving in the same capacity as a safeties coach in 2023, joined the Eagles in 2024, and he's now what, excuse me again?
The defensive pass game coordinator and defensive back coach.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Keep moving up the
congrats on your promotion.
The chart, man. There you go.
When do we get this? Coming back on the other side, I want to get give me the date. We had Herb back in December give us the date that Schwarber was going to sign. That Schwarber we signed.
Well, I don't think that they're going to steal the shine from the Super Bowl, so that's not this weekend.
No. Yeah, we're coming back. You give me the date. Dutsy will get a date from you. If you got one on the YouTube chat, we'll start rolling over there as well. Your date on which we'll finally have an offensive coordinator, because we've hit offensive coordinator fatigue.
A little bit.
Certainly in this studio. I don't know about all of you out there. I'm ready for it to be decided and settled. We'll get that coming up, and our YouTube chat recap as we wrap up the show and hand things over to Unfiltered. Coming up alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn here on Middays with Marks. Harrison Bader's deal with the Giants, according to John Heyman. Hello and welcome back to Middays with Marks alongside Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. $20.5 million over 2 years.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Incentives to get it to $21 million.
Sounds about right.
So would you have given the extra year to Bader instead of giving the 1 year, $10 million contract to Adolis Garcia?
What's Bader, 32? I think he's 32 years old. Yeah, I would have. Knowing what I learned from his short stint here, the what he brought to the team, he just brought a lightning rod of enthusiasm, right? Like, he had fans like myself going, I'm Badered up, or, I'm a Bader guy, and he delivered. The issue is he gets dinged up.
Yeah.
He does get dinged up, and it happened again in that playoff run. Now, is that a little over the top? Maybe. I'm sure Garcia's been dealing with some injuries as well throughout the course of his career. But that was a flaw that was on Harrison Bader's resume.
Yeah, in the previous 3 years offensively were not what they were last year.
That too. But he did play great last year. Had a great season, 277, and as I said, 17 bombs. Yeah, that's a no-brainer for me. I bring Bader back.
Yeah.
I'm Badered up.
Well, better stay up late. You're going to watch him out on the West Coast.
No, yeah, exactly. Now, what happens if you do bring Bader back? Where is he playing?
Oh, he's playing center.
And then who's playing right?
Now, that's the thing. That becomes the musical chairs of, are you moving Marsh out to right?
Marsh can't play right. Right?
Crawford can't play right.
Crawford's center and left, correct?
It was pretty much, yeah. They're playing him in center.
Yeah.
Played mostly left down there on the farm.
I don't know. It's tough. I just don't think Brandon Marsh could play right for you.
No. But he was the only logical candidate in that case?
It's a good question. Maybe that had something to do with it.
I think that's what happened. This ultimately came down. They chose Justin Crawford playing center over anything else.
There you go. Yep.
They looked at this organization. All right, we got to fix right field. Let's go get a right fielder.
Where did Justin Crawford fall in that top 100? Can I get Steve Phillips pumping me up about Justin Crawford? I mean, he's got me believing that Aiden Miller's the next Wade Boggs. What's he saying about Justin Crawford?
Boggs couldn't tie the shoes on Miller's feet. All right?
Good grief. The greatest third baseman ever for the Iron Pigs.
All right.
Ready. Let's go.
Also, I want to get the date. I saw Andy and Lambert.
He even played third. Played short.
Right.
What do we do?
Compared to Bregman with speed and the best draft pick they made since Mike Schmidt.
Oh, my goodness. Love it.
And there's 22 prospects better than him right now in baseball.
Oh, my God.
We asked for the date in which this gets settled. Our buddy Andy and Lambert filled the YouTube chat. Friday, January 30th. So this Friday.
I'm going to go one more on him. And this wasn't on purpose, not Price is Right here. I'm going to go over the weekend, Saturday.
You on the air Saturday?
No.
Preempted this week.
Yeah, preempted. I'll be in the Poconos.
I was going to say that was self-serving right there if you had that Saturday.
Like
it drops at 9:30?
Yeah. It would have been perfect.
Yeah, I think it's going to drop Thursday at 10 a.m.
I should be tubing at that time when it comes down. I think Saturday the 31st.
All right. I will go the soonest of the group. I'll go Thursday.
You think this week it happens?
Thursday. This week. We're getting it this week.
We need to have some other answers. We need to have some other questions to answer before I think we're going to get that OC.
What the hell with everyone else?
Yeah, you.
All right. You know what?
That.
Let's just
the world
slap the check on the table.
The NFL world revolved around the Eagles last year, but as we just saw,
does not right now.
No,
not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Yikes.
One game left. Oh my goodness.
One game of football. Yeah.
What a season.
What a season. It's going to come down to Sam Darnold and Drake May. Just like we all drew it up.
1,000-1 preseason.
Really?
Yep. 60-1, 60-1. I believe they were both even as far as Super Bowl championship preseason. Yeah, if you had a future on the Seahawks and the Patriots, just roaring round of applause. Come on down. Yeah, that would have been a hell of a pull, but you could say that like a diehard Seahawk fan would be like, yeah, I back my team. I believe, sure, I get down with that. But to have the Patriots on the other side, it's just a whole nother world, with the Bills. And then, the Seahawks with that division as well. 49ers, Rams, like it's tough. Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold. He did it. All right. It's time. Let's get to the YouTube chat recap.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in?
Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
All right, I know today a lot of the conversation surrounding Dutsy's hair. So I'll be interested to see.
As it should be.
Yeah, obviously.
As it should, yes.
And I'm hoping it was a good pick me up for you. You seem like you're doing okay today with the.
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah,
doing
Duts.
good. Early this morning, I had to get up because of the snow. So maybe that's why.
It's not easy running the board, being on air, doing the updates. It's not an easy gig. Now, why are you drinking water back there around the board, though? That's not a. What are you doing?
That's not allowed.
That's not allowed.
Well, it's better than Sylvana's glass cup that she had.
Look at you
look at him
Which,
deflecting blame.
by
You've
the way,
become
you
a
did
great
not back
producer.
me on. I couldn't
You've become
believe
a great
that.
producer.
Just back it up on him. That's it.
Yeah, just throw it on someone else's plate. You've learned so much from me.
That's all right.
All right, what do you got?
Speaking of plowing through things, good morning, Ray from Dawood Spriggs.
Hello.
Hey, all
Coming
right.
in hot.
Relax, guys.
Hey.
Everybody, calm down. Hotel room was by myself. Everybody, chill out.
Hey.
Calm down. All right, what else we got?
I have owned golf clubs older than that wee fella doing the segment updates for today. He looks 12. I have more hair on my toes than he does on his face. From Kieran.
Oh, man.
That's not concerning that you have more hair on your feet than I have facial hair. That's concerning. No?
You got a decent amount of facial hair for being 15.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. For being 15.
Looks
yeah.
good on you.
Yeah. He said he's not doing Fat Face February with us.
I
which I'm just
heard.
kinda disappointed
Yeah,
about.
man. Come on. You got to get in. Everybody, Fat Face February coming our way. February 1. All right. We just went over the calendar. I believe that's a Monday. It's perfect. You're shaving your beard. And the reason why you're doing it is because when you look in the mirror and you see yourself, and I put my hand in the air, I messed up my beard the other day. I was like, man, I am hideous. I need to get in the gym. I need to get back in shape. Let's go. Get rid of this gobbler. And Fat Face February coming our way. February 1, we're all shaving the beards.
See, that's why I love my beard, though. It makes it seem like I have a jaw.
It's so different without it. I was like, oh, man.
I'm going to hate it. I'm going to despise it.
It's going to make us hit the treadmill, Ray.
Start running again.
One less IPA and Acme cookie on a Saturday night.
Yeah, good luck with that. It just means 2 more times running during the week.
That's it.
I got to get in shape for Broad Street, so that's what why I've decided to go in on this.
Nice work.
I'm going to do better at Fat Face February than I did at Damp January.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Bar is very low. This is like Kevin Patullo level low for bar to clear, but yes, I'm going to do better at that. What else we got?
What's Shaggy doing behind the boards from Boom Bap?
Shaggy! Duts. Yeah, the bullseye was out for you. The chat, normally they have a little something for me, but I don't see much. It's more coming your way.
So whoever's back here, usually when Ray's back here, it's all Ray.
They love
Whoever's
Ray.
back here, it's all her.
They love Patricia.
Yep.
They love John. I'm normally the target, what I'm wearing. But, man, you are clearly taking over today. I appreciate it.
You went
The fact that no
green
one's
today.
commented on that
Nobody's
sweatshirt
commented
yet.
on that.
The fact that no one's commented on your sweatshirt yet really tells me the whole story.
The lime green.
All right, what do we got next?
Marks is in a Snuggie with a warm cup of tea watching Golden Girl reruns from Tommy John.
Yeah, he's definitely with the Snuggie. I could see that. He's holed up on the couch.
Is he a Cheeseman?
A what?
A Teasman?
Teasman? What's that?
He's a fan of tea.
Fan of tea. Oh, gotcha. I don't know. That doesn't seem like John. No, I wouldn't say that.
No.
But the Golden Girls. I don't think he's watching the reruns. But you're in that world,
Right,
though.
yeah.
80s, something along those throwbacks. Yeah, all
He
the
found
family.
out today that Netflix has podcasts, and I bet he's tapped into one of the podcasts. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not watching a podcast on Netflix. I'm sorry. Good luck to them, though.
Yeah. Hey, if they want to put this on Netflix, yeah.
I would watch this.
I would watch this for sure. Yeah, for sure.
No doubt. Yep.
What else we got?
They might have pulled him from a convenience store and just offered him to fill in for the day. From Bruce.
Oh.
Dots.
That's our YouTube stream every day. He's our YouTube producer. That's the word I'm looking for.
Come on, Dots.
Come on.
Take it easy on him.
Any more?
Yep, one more.
Here's how you fix the Eagles' offense. Buy Nick a Nintendo Switch, and every time he has a thought for the offense, he needs to go play Elden Ring or Mario Party. From MBD.
That's a man that was tapped into the morning show because I know there had to have been a Nintendo conversation this morning with Salciunas. Once we got past the end of the first game, he was like, all right, guys, I'm going to go put the phone up with the game in my room. I think at the N64 with him, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to play Mario Party. Or Paper Mario, one of the two. So, yeah.
Wow.
He was ready to game. He was like, it was good seeing you guys. It's been a fun 6 hours. I'm up and out of here.
Brought the game with him.
Yep.
What game again? Not the game.
Paper Mario.
No, but the
N64.
Like the full N64.
I didn't get a chance to see it, so I don't know. Totally.
That's something.
All right, you can
God
drop
bless
that
him.
down, Dutsy. That's all we got for you today. Johnny Marks back tomorrow. It's a Reggae Tuesday.
Reggae.
So I'll be sitting there tomorrow. Sean Brace, we'll see you Thursday.
Thursday.
Thank
I'm
you,
off.
Brandon Dutz. Appreciate you all who checked in. Stay warm out there. I'm Ray Dunn. This has been Middays of Marks right here at 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.